welcome to Lucas Live News. This is your host, Danny,
Lily,
Lucas,
Liv,
and we are excited to be here again with you this Friday morning. This is going to be a really fun show, a really fun weekend, and we're excited to get this thing kicked off. How was your guys' week this week?
fast.
It was fast. It was crazy. It was fast and furious.
Fast and furious, that's what I was thinking.
very fast.
Fast
Very
and Furious is a
fast.
good description of my week too.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching live or by replay, make sure you guys go ahead and share this broadcast with your friends, with your family, with your coworkers. If you're at work, go ahead and post us up so everybody in the office can hear what's going on, what's happening this week. But we have an exciting show coming at you guys today. You know, there's a lot going on this weekend. We can't wait to kind of dive into that. We got some community spotlights and people we want to highlight, so be looking out for that. We got our guy, Zach Sweat from StruXure Academy. He will be joining us at 9 o'clock, at our 9 o'clock hour, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And we are just going to have a great conversation this morning. Good morning, Miss Darla. How are you? But yeah, so how y'all feeling?
I'm feeling great. You know, I want to shout out our wonderful sponsors.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Stark County Minority Business Association. We are excited. We have the Scumba Spotlight each week that we're doing, and
Business and beyond.
Business and Beyond. We want to
Yeah.
thank them for being a sponsor of ours. Shout out to Jessica Danielle Nails. Jessica Danielle is in the process
Killing
of
it.
building a new. I don't know what it's not going to be the nail bar. I think it's something new in North Canton she's building. But shout out to her and the nail bar over there on Fulton here in Canton. If you guys are looking to get those nails right for the spring,
And they gonna get right.
They gonna get right.
She is doing an amazing job. I keep looking at her work and her reels and all her content.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you are doing it.
she's been one of our original sponsors. We just can't thank her enough for everything she does. If you're looking for somewhere to go or somewhere new and you're like, I don't know, please check her out. Now, that doesn't mean Jessica has to be your nail tech. She has a wonderful team, and she knows how to build a team. She knows how to train a team, so check her out. We also have the Lily Pad. I don't know if they have spots for kids because they're always full because they're so wonderful. But I know the owner,
thanks.
and she's right here.
Yeah, I'm right
Right
here.
now.
How's it going at the Lily Pad?
We are full.
Okay,
Yes, we're
full of love.
We're so full that we're full.
Okay.
It's a blessing.
Do you guys have a waiting
Yeah.
list?
We have a waiting list, but
love
we
that.
typically right now when folks call, I try to refer them out.
That's good.
Because a lot of the families that are calling, like they need it like ASAP. So
Yeah.
we'll still put them on our waiting list, if they want to be.
Yeah.
But I try to encourage them to, find a center. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
just
You don't
did
want
a
them
lot
just
of
sitting outside waiting on the waiting list, just
Like
sitting
the
out,
wait-
sit their
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
outside,
In the
just
parking
in the
lot,
parking
like,
lot. Like what are the kids doing
on
by
the
themselves?
playground, like,
They on the waiting list.
Right, they're on the waiting list.
They just waiting. They waiting. So shout out to Lily and the Lily Pad,
They
the waiting
waiting.
list. They just waiting for kids.
Legacy Dumpsters.
Shout out to Legacy Dumpsters.
Doing big things.
I
Big
know.
things.
I'm seeing their reels all over the place.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Everyone's using Legacy Dumpsters for all their dumpster needs.
Listen, you're right, because I'm driving down the road and I just see, I'm like, okay,
Yeah, it does.
it is
That's
cool.
crazy.
I love to see that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Shout out to Brian and Legacy Dumpsters. And then Canton Junk Cars. If you got a car that's a piece of junk, you know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. I mean, let's not
Literally,
lie.
let's
Yeah.
not
I mean, you got a
Yeah.
car that you just been sitting there for a long time. You're not sure what to do with it. You're like, I'm going to trade it in, and you're going to take it in, and they're going to look at it and be like, we'll give you $12.52. You know,
Yeah.
you might as well get a little bit more than that. The engine's not working. You don't know what it is, or maybe, unfortunately, you had a loved one pass, and that car's been in the garage forever, and you're trying to hold on to it for sentimental reasons, and you know that
Yeah.
loved one didn't even value it that much, maybe even, and it's just time to get rid of it or whatever it is. Call Brian at Canton Junk Cars. He can get that car out of there. I know he recently did a deal with a FedEx dealer and pulled some got some cars from the FedEx dealer, which is a big deal. That's super cool. Maybe you had an old fleet of cars in your business and you're trying to upgrade. Get that cash for those so you can use that cash and flip that and get a new fleet or get some new cars or get whatever it is.
Look
But
at
reach
Lucas
out to
giving
Brian.
business tips out
at
here. That's what I'm
Canton
talking
Junk
about.
Cars.
Flip that.
You gotta flip that.
It's
Get
just-
that cash.
That's that old lane.
Cash flow. You got to
gotta
get the
flip- you gotta
cash
flip
flow in
that.
your business. Get the cash flowing in your
A lot
business.
of times people don't want, they don't want to pay for AAA, or they feel like
Yes.
they can't sometimes even afford it.
That's
He'll
right.
come
He'll
pick
come
up this
take it
car
for
and give you
you.
some money.
Yes, don't let the
talking
city
about.
come take your car off the street and put it in the impound, and you got to pay
Right.
for that.
Right.
Why are you looking at me, Danny?
Because our car got no.
Oh, no, it's
We
okay.
had a car sitting outside, and I went outside, and I was like,
Your car was on the waiting
Oh,
list.
it's gone.
Whoa, it's good.
Right, wait a minute.
What's up, Asia? How are you? We've been talking about you all week.
Asia.
We miss you, girl, so much. We can't wait. Good morning, Tiff. Good morning, Ron. Top of the top, everybody.
What's up, Darla? What's up? And shout out to our good friends over at SARTA. What's up? What's up? Come ride with us. Is that still their slogan? I don't know. But y'all make sure y'all show them some love. SARTA will be on the levee again at some point. We always got to vote for SARTA because it's a lot of people who depend on it. And you might not depend on them until you need to depend on them. Okay? And a lot of people take it for granted. Big cities have public transportation. Don't take it for granted that we're a small town and you might not need them, but you might need them one day, or your loved ones might need them, or somebody out there needs them. So continue to show love to SARTA.
One of my friends, one of my friends in the chat, his name is Yvonne Peterson.
My man, Mikey Peterson.
Yes, and shout out to him. He does fashion shows, and he has been so consistent. And I want to just give him his flowers because he's been so consistent and he's done so well, and he's getting some recognition. I did see him on Facebook. He's getting recognized for something. Yvonne, put it in the chat because I'm not quite sure what it was, but I know you was shining, and I was like, congratulations. Just remind me of exactly what I don't want to mess it up. Yeah. But shout out to him. He's been doing fashion shows in the city, trying to get. He always is recruiting. I love that. Yeah, always trying to recruit
That's
models.
my guy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know.
Hey.
Look at all these lovely ladies right here. What we talking
Me,
about?
but I never just got time to commit, and so I want to. My girls, we might, hop up on the runway or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But shout out
that
to him
sounds
too.
awesome. Yeah.
Shout out to him. Okay, sponsors.
Sponsors. Sorry, I was doing sponsor spotlight. And then shout out to Mentor Stark, our great friend Lori Moline, and Mentor Stark. Look at me. Ooh, Lori Moline. I said it. That's our girl. Right. She comes in. We have meetings with her about once a week, once every other week. That's our girl, and we just have a good time. But we talk about all the mentoring programs in the city and the community and what they're doing to help our young people and make a difference and how we can continue to impact them. We also have a special event coming up at Dave & Buster's on April 21st. Is that right? Friday, April 21st, I think it is. Is that right? I might get up. No, that can't be. It's 25th.
No,
it's the 25th. It's 2 weeks from today.
There we go.
Friday, April 25th. We want you guys to come to Dave & Buster's. We're going to be there between 6 and 8. We're going to be having fun. It's going to be a community fun time. Lucas Live is going to be there. We're going to be having fun. But we want you guys to use this QR code because we want you guys to buy your power-up cards in advance because your power-up cards are going to go help sponsor us, Lucas Live Media and Mentor Stark, and our collaboration, and buy those cards so you and your kids can come out and have some fun. I know Lily's Pad, they're going to be, getting cards for the kids and stuff, right?
Listen, let's talk about it after the show.
Okay, you see how I threw that out there? Okay, let's go.
So 50%.
Get them kids some cards.
Yeah, give them something to do.
Go to Mentor Stark.
Yeah.
50% of the proceeds go to Mentor Stark.
And that's big because, I've been really, I think we'll talk about it later, but I've always had obviously a love and a passion for our community, right? And especially our young people because it's important that we pour into them. I was poured into as a young person, and I think I've benefited a lot from it. And when we have programs like Mentor Stark, and we have people like Lori that cares, and I mean cares. I mean, she would bring a baby up into her home, take them. She had to come here for a meeting, and one of her kids met her here because she had to go do something later with them. Yes. And I mean, she's about her work. She's about the community. Yes. And if there's anybody that deserves your money when it comes to fundraising, it's Mentor Stark and Lori Moline because it's going to
go. She has been around for so long. I think I shared that with you guys. I've been just her name and just knowing her, and she's one of those hidden gems. Like, how there's stuff that's happening in the community, and a lot of times people don't really know the people behind it and the hard work that goes behind it. But I just know, like, just from when I was working in the community for 15 years, I heard her name all the time. But it's because I was in it, you know. So a lot of times, so I just appreciate that, now with this connection, folks can hear it out in the community and know who she is and know all the hard work that she does.
Yeah. And she always says her least favorite part is fundraising. So, which, obviously, so if you guys want to help in any way.
I love that.
And we're also having a Canes fundraiser too, but that's a little bit later. Yeah. But there's some stuff coming up. So.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Liv. Sorry.
Liv?
You're nice.
No, wait, go ahead and put that close up back. Wait, bring that close up back. Bring it. Come on, get my good side. Get my good side.
That's what I'm talking about.
Get off the camera.
No, Liv. Liv was looking good. Okay, Liv, shout out. I don't know. Wait, guys should never do that. That was weird.
I don't know.
Cut the clip, Brandon. Make sure you cut the clip. And get him going like this.
Cut the clip.
That's gonna be the neck. That's gonna be the thumbnail.
The thumbnail.
I don't know, Lucas. You wear them pajamas with your.
Ooh.
Why does that keep coming up?
Because
Lily?
you said it. You said it.
He did say it.
You agreed.
Exactly.
That.
I'm sick of
Yes.
this. I'm sick of
So
this.
you wear pajamas.
I just replied.
Just because me and
Then you
Drewski know how to have fun.
Pose.
Y'all always messing with me. What's up?
All right, y'all.
Anyway.
Listen. All right. Okay.
Diva.
So today we're keeping it light. We're keeping it funny, and usually we talk about community. I love it. I love it, but. Y'all ever just had one of them weeks where you're like, I can't talk about nothing else that
heavy.
Nothing else heavy, okay? Or I might just break
down.
Okay? So we're going to keep it light. We're going to keep it fun today. And I want to know, you know what? Let me just tell you before I ask the question. So growing up, my Aunt Shunda, Asia, you know her. My Aunt Shunda, she hated when we smacked our gum. We'd be in the car. She'd be she would make us spit our gum into her hand and she'd throw it out. I'm like, dang. So what is a ick? Something that instantly just kind of like turns you off.
Icks.
You can't do it.
Now,
we're talking about icks today, y'all. So
ick wasn't even a word when I was a kid, first of all, which is funny. Icks. Y'all let us know in the comments here.
So a pet peeve or like a...
Yeah, like that's what we call it, pet peeve. Icks. Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, something to make you like, ugh.
So man, you just talked about this because it's when people don't say excuse me.
Oh, that's you?
Oh.
You be ready to fight?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I mean it's bad.
Yeah.
Like especially if I hold a door, the privilege of folks sometimes.
Yeah.
The privilege.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was in Columbus the other day.
It's not good.
And I was walking downtown with my best friend. And we were just walking, having our little good time. And I was like, why do I keep moving out of the way for everybody else and nobody moving out of the way for me? I was on Threads. I was like, I'm gonna chest bump somebody if they walking my way again. Like nobody says excuse me.
There's that old Danny popping up.
No, old Danny. Danny's back.
Why does it look like that? Oh, that's TikTok?
Yeah, it's TikTok.
I'm sorry. I was like, what the heck?
She was a little concerned.
Good morning, Uncle B.
Good morning, TikTok. We live on TikTok too. What's up? What's up?
TikTok's over there.
TikTok's over there.
Hollis is in the chat. What's up? How y'all doing? So yeah, we're talking about icks. What's something that just turn y'all off? Like, no, you did not just say that. No, you did not just do that. Like,
Yeah.
What's something just like, to you? Just,
Okay, I don't hope this is not sexist. You see how I put the tension in there?
Uh-oh.
No, let's wait on that one. No. I don't like it. This might be sexist, but my mom taught me this. I don't like it when girls spit.
No, for real.
Like it's not okay.
Like out the window or something. Like
not at all. You're not allowed to spit ever. You just got to choke on that.
What happens when they throw up?
No, you gotta look. No, that's okay. Y'all hold your hair if you're pregnant. But my wife was pregnant. I'd hold her hair and make sure she was good. But if a girl just be
so you just seeing her and spit.
So you don't like that?
That's not okay. That's gross.
What
like you can't just be.
Monique McCullum
I'm
said
not really big on
hygiene.
spitting. Period. Like just intentionally.
Monique said horrible hygiene.
Horrible hygiene is it? Yeah. What is that like? Musty? Is that Monique? Give us some more detail to that. Is it like they look like they don't brush their teeth?
I feel like when we was in New York.
Give us some more.
Give us some more detail. I think it could be a lot of stuff.
I mean, it made sense though. We was in New York visiting Uncle B.
Shout out to Uncle B.
Shout
out to our guy.
And somebody smelled so bad.
Oh, the subway can be bad.
And it was just like typical. In New York, we're on a subway, and it was like a like a must smell.
Yeah.
I wanted to get sick because then other people smells ingest all of that. That's a
it
lot.
feels like it's connecting with you.
That's right. You're becoming one with the must.
It smells something so bad that it's like it just stuck to your upper lip or something. Like I can't get rid of the smell.
It gets into your nose hair.
Little follicles.
I feel like it's on me. Like,
that's what.
All right, what else? Asia said the sound of gums and teeth. What?
What's she saying? The sounds of what?
Gums and teeth separated?
What
does that even sound like?
I don't know what she's saying. Help us out. I don't know what that means. When people smack their food, now Tiff, you can't eat lunch around Tiff because you can't take a bite. Because, you ever hear chips in your head when you're eating chips?
Yeah.
And you be worried that other people can hear it? Oh, Tiff can hear it. Tiff can hear your Doritos. You be like,
I will be in the car.
You be like,
girl, I am hungry.
You gotta dip your chips in water before you eat them around Tiff, boy. You better. better soak your chips.
That's crazy.
You gotta soak your chips. You gotta soak your chips with.
So Uncle B said one of his biggest pet peeves is bad hospitality, and you know what? Let me just toot my own horn.
He's very hospitable.
I'm gonna toot my own horn.
He was with you
Uncle
recently.
B came over the other day. Yes. And I was like, oh, he's coming over? I'd have washed my sheets. I washed some comforters. I made sure he had a pillow. I tucked in the sheet on the couch so it's all nice and stuff. He had got there like at, I don't know.
Hey, Brian, tell us how she was. She telling us, but you tell us.
Tell him,
Uncle
B.
He might be like,
tell him, Uncle B. I took care of him. I made sure he was good.
He might be like, it was terrible.
No,
what if he tells us
the door unlocked and everything?
He might be telling. What if he tells us,
Liv? He's always hating.
Is that why he brought it up?
He could tell us it was terrible. Is that why he brought it up?
Because it might have been bad.
He might have. How do we know?
Right. Yeah.
How do we know he's not like?
It might have been a passive.
That was what I'm saying. It might have been a passive aggressive thing.
We don't like bad hospitality.
Set him straight, please.
He could have been like, it was terrible hospitality.
You know what? I appreciate people like you, Danny, because I'm not. Like my sister and her husband, they're like that. So like they used to live in Charlotte, but they're back here now. But we used to go down there, and I'm like, she's so awesome. Like it would be, it would like it would be like you're at like a hotel or something. You would have all these bath towels, all these things, and I'm like, Lord, please help don't nobody come over my house because I'm be like, here's this blanket.
No. I will clean the whole house. Like it was one of them days where I didn't cook, but like I will welcome my guests. I love that. Like I wish I had a guest room because it would be all nice and ready, lavender on the pillow.
I mean, I would try. I just don't know if I would do a good job like that. You know what I mean? Like in my head, I'd be like, okay, I just gotta make sure the house clean.
I think I'm naturally I don't know if I would do like well. That though. Like I like being.
Me and my wife took the beds out of the guest room. Maybe we don't want no guests. Our guest room, we got a music room for my daughter now. She got a guitar, a piano, it's a music room, and then the other one is just, I don't know. Maybe we don't want guests.
Miss Darla says she can't stand when folks wear sandals with their toenails painted. Hey, that's another thing my aunt hated.
Listen. Let me tell y'all. Let me write this down.
My mom is like, are you serious?
Jessica Danielle nails.
When I put sandals on and I don't got my toes painted, I think of my Aunt Chandler like she would hate this.
Yeah.
Like if a toenail is chipped, I'd be like, she gonna talk about me.
I don't. Like, my mom like literally has instilled in me like I've become the fastest toe painter y'all would ever see. I literally like I will be running out the door, shoes on, mind you.
Shoes on.
My pinky toe is so short that I never even have to paint it because it's always covered with the strap. So I just paint the first four.
Yeah,
always
baby, look fire. Door.
This is a thing.
Olivia, I'm the same way. Yeah, I'll be in the car talking about some. Hold on, starting the car.
Okay. No,
anywhere.
Is this a thing, ladies?
Yes, this is a thing. That's a.
Because let me tell y'all what I think as a guy. Let me give y'all the guy's perspective.
Go ahead.
This is a funny thing that you said this because as a guy, I think chipped fingernail and toenail polish is a pet peeve of mine. I'd be like, now here's the funny thing though. I'm also very conscious of not making people feel self-conscious. Especially ladies, because I think ladies already have to go through enough. It's like, gosh, they got to do a million things to feel good.
I filed my nails last night.
So I'm very careful not to say things like this because I think as I get older, I'm like, I realize how much women have to go through. So I'm like, this is ridiculous to think they always have to have their nails done, always have to have their toes done, So I don't think that's fair. So let me back off of that. But I would say certainly, especially when I was younger, I'd be like, oh my God, Now here's what I would think though. I would think a girl should take the polish off. I'm not gonna tell my wife. I would be like, babe, I'll just take the polish off for you. I'd be sitting there, we'd be watching shows.
You want blank toes?
It'd be better than not. It'd be better than chipped.
I see what you're saying.
Okay. It'd be better than chipped. I'd be like,
that's my struggle. I'm not like a nail person. Mm-hmm. Like I don't get my nails done. I don't do any of those things. But I will try. I'm like, okay, I need to do different things. Hence the braids. Cute. But
cute.
8.
Easy 8.
So I've been trying to put on nail polish. The problem is, it's like a couple days later. And I'm like, see, I can't.
You gotta get the gel.
You have to get the
gel. But then it messes your nails
That's what I'm saying, because then they start filing it all down, and I want my nails.
No happy medium.
Right, so thank you. There's no happy medium. I don't want somebody else touching my nails and then taking all the goodness of the nail.
But you can do your gel at home.
You can. My wife has a little gel kit.
I'd rather, Tiff and my sister got me on doing the gel on my toes. I never was like.
See, now I do gel on my toes.
I do
because these toes be going through stuff.
Okay, and like.
Monique said you got to use the gel.
I can go a whole month without touching my feet. Like,
that's living.
That's living. All the way up.
You can play kickball and everything.
I don't got to stretch.
You can kick walls, kick bricks.
Especially if you're a person
Get a
that
little
works
extra time
out.
with the French tip.
Like if you work out, you run, and you want to keep your toenails right.
Yes.
That gel is perfect.
Yeah, I was on so many trips this year, like so my feet had to stay done because they were out. I mean, that's a good problem to have.
That is a good problem to have. You can't be out here with the busted up. And that's something. It's funny because, ladies, I think guys notice. I think when women don't have their feet right, men, it's less ladylike. Because dudes be looking. Dudes don't have to worry about it. I don't know where dudes is at, but dudes be like, she don't look like a girl. Like, she like a dude. Like, she been kicking walls or something. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's a pet peeve.
Did you just
dudes are just
Lucas?
Okay.
You need a drum. We need a drum. You on one
I'm just
today.
serious. I'm just like, but here's the thing. But let me tell you this though.
I could run down some pet peeves I got for a man. Want me to do that?
I'm not trying.
Oh,
you
okay.
can.
I'm sorry.
No. Feel free. Feel free.
I'm not gonna do that.
No, you
I feel
can.
like
You should.
I feel like one of mine is. I feel like mine's like a more of a personality thing, but somebody that can't laugh.
Oh yeah.
That's
Somebody
a good
that's
one.
too serious.
I've
always, especially in a relationship, I've grown up with a very funny, silly, goofy dad.
Yeah.
And brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So
People
I'm
can't
just
laugh.
a silly, goofy girl. Like,
So it
Yeah.
messes you
just a
up.
girl,
And so
okay?
if you're not,
I'm just a goofy girl, right?
Those stiff people that's like, you can't take a joke, like,
Right.
like I can't
Slander.
be silly.
The moment
can't-
and you don't know how I am. Like I say sarcastic
All
things,
day.
joking all the time, and then when I get this, I'm like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah,
Like,
no, yeah.
Right.
I'm funny.
We're not gonna
Nobody's gonna convince me that I'm not
Right.
funny.
I'll be funny.
I had
right?
somebody try to convince me that I wasn't funny, and I was like, "How you gonna hate?
You hate it.
Listen, I've
hate
been
it.
in a relationship where the person didn't think I was funny, and I was like, wait a second, this isn't gonna work. It made me unhappy.
Yeah.
Like I'm goofy. I love to have fun. Just laugh at the dumb stuff.
Y'all are funny for
Listen,
real.
this conversation can go on all day, and we're gonna get to your guys' comments
hate this.
here.
We gotta go to something else?
Here
Aw.
in a second, we're gonna get to your guys' comments. We're gonna transition over to community spotlight. I have somebody that I want to talk about, so we'll be right back after this. All right, guys. So if you have heard of Chasing Hope House, I need you to just listen a little close right now, okay? So we have Miss Jacqueline Scott, Chase, and LaMonica come in this week and have a meeting with us because we are going to be hosting this year's 2025 lip sync city official lip sync battle.
Yes.
So they have a bunch of city officials, people from the fire department, the police department, Officer Sharp, the mayor's office, a lot of city officials participating in the event. And so we were talking about the logistics of the event, but you know, with me and Lucas, it kind of got a little deeper. We wanted to know, you know, the why behind why this was started. And what Chasing Hope House is an organization that assists foster kids that age out of the system. Now that is huge, okay?
So important.
It's so important. Chase had came from Scumba, and she was on the show a couple weeks ago, and she kind of talked about what she did. So she came from Scumba, and it was that day that I learned about her organization and what she was doing. And I was fascinated because it's something that I guess I just hadn't thought about. Yeah. And when it doesn't affect you, you don't think about it, right? So I didn't think about what happens to those kids that age out of foster homes. Mm-hmm. They haven't been adopted, so now what? Mm-hmm. And I couldn't wrap my mind around what
is life like?
What I thought happened actually happens. Like, they just go and that's it. That's it. They're just, you're 18. Go get a job. And she's telling us a story about an 18-year. I was 18 in my senior year. So imagine I turned 18 in October at the beginning of the school year. And now I'm on my own because I've aged out of foster care. And I got my senior year. I got prom. I got graduation.
And a lot of the parents.
And it's just me. Yeah. No, literally, it's just me. There's nobody from Jobs and Families that I can call anymore. There's if they so choose.
I mean, they will, and they will. And there's some support. There is some transitional housing. There is some support, but the families don't have to keep.
Even with the transitional housing, because like just in my experience working with families for the years that I did a lot of work with them as far as like family or young people that were in foster care and aging out. But even with the transitional housing, which I think is like great, I don't think it's long enough, and I don't think there's enough information provided, because when you think about, I think we talked about this last time, so when you have a child that's in foster care, they're in survival mode, a lot of them, because they're going from place to place to place. So the transitional housing is just another place.
Yeah.
Like, so then what happens after that place? You know what I'm saying? Point. So it's like, in their mind, rationalizing. Like, in my experience, in their mind, they're waiting on the next help.
Place. Yes.
And after that, that's it.
Yeah.
So that's like the final stage of that experience for them, as far as being in the system, is potentially that transitional housing, if they're blessed enough to even get it.
Yeah. Right.
Because I think there's specific types of kids that end up getting transitional housing. It's not all of them. So then even when they're in transitional housing, it's like, okay, so now I need to learn how to live by myself independently, and then everybody breaks away. So it's important that when they're in these this type of housing, that they have system involvement, and that they have something that's going to be like long term. Even if it's like a natural support that you can try to find, like a person that's going to be there for them, to help guide them. Sorry, that's just like my spew, because I just saw like a lot of stuff.
I started like, when I'm thinking about, you know, even the young people that are getting arrested, and just doing outlandish stuff, when you really take a look at who these kids are and what they've come from, you're looking at some of these kids are kids that have aged out of the foster care system. They have no direction. They don't know what to do. So when we put them back into the system, first of all, sometimes they're just used to that. They're used to being in those kind of facilities and being kind of enclosed indoors, and, you know, this is just what they're used to. But you know, we blame them for acting how they act and not knowing any better, and, you know, having to go to jail. But honestly, y'all, I feel like we failed them from the moment that they were born, when they get put into these foster care systems, because I don't know about y'all, but I am sick to my stomach about, I'm sick that most of these stories that we hear from foster kids, they're the same. They have been sexually assaulted. They've been abused. They've been locked in basements. They've been neglected. They're not getting fed. Like, what? Why is this normal for our kids that have no choice but to be involved?
And right now, one of the major things that's an issue right now is, even Job and Family Services had put out, like, back probably about 6 to 8 months ago, they don't have enough workers within Job and Family Services, and they had to get clinical counselors to counsel the folks that are the case workers for these families. And so, because they don't have enough foster parents, and there are good foster parents. Shout out to Sarah Ray.
Shout out to Sarah Ray.
I've done some of her foster kids there.
And we have some over at Lily's Pad, and she's just amazing. I mean, to the point where she has like adopted. You know what I mean? So her and Joe,
Chasing Hope House.
Yes, what's up?
So you guys, this is what we're talking about. So what I'm saying all of this to say, I wanted to kind of just paint the picture behind this, because they're having a lip sync fundraiser, right? This is to raise money. Now we're talking about what are happening to these teenagers, these kids that are aging out of foster care. They have nowhere to go, but Chasing Hope House is trying to give them somewhere to go. They are trying to partner with Canton for All People. They have a lot of land, that they're looking at, and they want to build a facility on top of that lot. We got to see the layout, the blueprint of it.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful, and I think the story behind that is beautiful, because she's stepping in a gap that she's seen. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the times we see these issues, but like, sometimes they're bigger than us. And like, what do we do? Where do we start? Right. She figured out what she was going to do, and this is what it is. So now, I want you guys to get tickets. I want you guys to know that parking is going to cost, tickets are going to cost, and you can vote for city officials or anybody to win. There's dollar votes that they will be doing. All of this money is going to go towards this project. They're going to be putting a facility, I think it was downtown Canton.
It is downtown,
in downtown Canton, for all of those that are aging out.
It'll be for men and
women that are aging out
young
of
people,
foster
boys
care.
and girls.
And they're not just putting them up in dorm rooms and letting them just sit there. No, they're giving them resources and tools, and they're going to walk them through. They're going to teach them how to be an adult, advocate for themselves, speak for themselves, go to job interviews with confidence.
And those things are important.
Skills.
They're very important. A lot of those kids that are even in foster care, y'all see that. I'm telling you, they'll be in residential treatment facilities from the age of 10 till they're 17 and 18, go into transitional housing, and then they have to be an adult. A residential treatment facility is like prison. So it means once they age out of the residential treatment facility,
Monique,
they are tough. Once they age, so I just saw that Monique posted that sometimes they purposely do things, because if I am in a residential treatment facility and I am in foster care and that's what I've been at, lock this door, when I walk out this door, you lock that door and do that.
At least you feed
me. So now you want to put me in housing.
Put that comment back up there. Let's shout out Monique. Shout out to Monique McCullum. So she said they sometimes lash out purposely to go to jail for a bed and a meal. She said she's a detox nurse, and she's had fresh 18-year-olds come to detox without a problem just to use the 24-hour bed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Institutionalized.
Institutionalized. But it's a different institution. I think sometimes people think that it's the better solution, but when you have a child that's in residential treatment for years like that, it's like having a male or a female in prison and for all those years, and then telling them go out to society and figure it out. So imagine a child. And their brain isn't developed. I mean, you're talking about there's different developmental, and there's a whole process to this, like that impacts how a young person makes a decision once they age out of foster care.
So you guys, we say all of this to say, Lucas and I will be hosting this amazing event. And we want you guys to come out. They are actually looking for some volunteers for this event. So if you can find it in your heart to spare some time, this event is, I think we're locking it in for June 7th.
17?
No.
Or 7th?
June 7th.
Okay, you're right. Sorry.
June
You're right. June 7th.
And this will be at Umstead Hall right here in Canton, Ohio. They're looking for people to kind of just scan tickets when they come in, maybe check for parking, collect money for that. It'll all be digital. So they say as long as you know how to use the phone, you can help. They are also looking for teenage kid vendors, not people that are selling things for kids, but young entrepreneurs. So if you have a young entrepreneur in your life, somebody's making cupcakes, they're making cookies, they're making bracelets, whatever it is, whatever business that they have, clothing line, whatever it is, they are looking for vendors to be at this event too. So if you have a young entrepreneur in your life, check out Chasing Hope House. They are in the comments. We can put them back up on the screen real quick. Go to their Facebook, send her a message, see how you can help. But that is our community spotlight for the day. Oh, wait.
We have another one.
We got one more.
Listen.
So again, you guys, make sure you check out her page. Check that out. Help out. This is for us as a community, okay? Somebody a seed was planted in her heart to do this, and now it's happening. So I think as a community should just back her and support her, because I think that we will see a better outcome within our community overall.
Shout out to Chase, LaMonica, and Jackie Scott for putting their all behind this and really pushing this, and we're going to support them and help them do this, and it's a big cause, and it's going to be a lot of fun. That lip sync battle is going to be fun. You're not going to want to miss that. We're going to be hosting. We're going to be out there acting up and having fun. So that's going to be one of them events you're not going to want to see on Facebook or Instagram later and be like, I missed it. What was going on? I seen all them people having fun and dancing and listening to music. It's going to be a lot of fun. June 7th. Make sure you guys check that out. Watch for tickets. There's going to be a cost. We're going to ask you to pay for parking. Every little bit is going to go toward this Hope House, and that's why you're going to pay for those things. But we pay for so many things. So the money is going toward that Hope House, and we hope you support. So
all right, let's bring in the next community spotlight.
There was a young athlete here in our Stark County who is a young up-and-coming track star. She actually got her first place finish in the 100-meter dash, her first place finish in high school, and her name happens to be Savannah Ray Tyndall. She happens to be one of the best in the world. I happen to know her well. I've known her entire life. I was there the day she was born.
Wow.
And she has my DNA.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gave that to her?
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Wow.
That's DNA came from me.
So awesome.
And her mother's also is a track star. So I mean, she got her genes. But
I was wondering where she got it from.
But you see these calves, these legs. See, she get it from me too.
Really just
You
broke
see what I'm
down
saying?
DNA.
She
Hey,
get,
Lucas, let me, can I?
she get it from me too.
Lucas's
you know
calves ain't no joke.
See what I'm saying? She get it from me too.
Kareen's calves ain't no.
She get it from both of us.
Kareen's thighs.
Her
ain't
legs
no
too,
joke.
right? She get it from both, right?
Yeah,
Did you
her
run
whole
track?
leg
Did you
ain't no
run, bro?
joke.
Listen,
Because I'll get on you right now. Because you started football when you was in high school.
So I played
is
sports
you a
my
real
whole life.
athlete or
I
not?
was.
Are you?
I seen you punch. I seen your uppercut though. You started boxing recently, and I see your uppercut. It looked like you was. I don't know what you was doing. Anyway,
My 1-2 is
your 1-2s.
You don't play
Were you
with
on
me.
JV?
Hey, y'all
I
ain't
was on
seen my
JV.
one
I
too.
was, but I played varsity.
I
Everybody
was
played
a kid.
JV.
Well, hold
when
up.
they
Let's
was
get back to these
sophomore.
legs.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hold on. Shout
I was
out
on the
to
number one
you.
team in the nation.
Stop talking.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
Number one team in the nation.
You don't know those days.
Run
All right.
the clip.
Savannah Ray Tyndale coming to the stage.
Play the clip.
Check her out. Check out my girl. She wasn't playing with them people. Sorry, TikTok, y'all couldn't see that, but check us out on Facebook and YouTube at Lucas Live Media. Savannah, shout out to my girl. She's been working hard. Savannah been running track since she was about 8. Shout out to Coach Stokes, who was her first track coach at AAU, and shout out to her coaches at Hoover. I love her dedication and her love for it now. It took her a while to get there. I think our guest may be at the door. Let's check that out. But shout out to her love and dedication for it. Shout out to her mom, my wife, Kareem Marie, for giving her some good genes too. Yeah. So Savannah now, though, it's fun to see your kid go from I'm doing it, I'm having fun with it, I go through the ups and downs of it. Sometimes she wanted to walk away from it, to now she's like, what can I eat the night before? She's like, I ain't messing with that. Can I eat this? Should I eat this? And the morning of, she's like, nah, what can I? Nah. Yeah. She like, who making my eggs? I'm about to go make some eggs. I'm up early. I'm ready to go. Nah, don't mess with this. And we used to have to tell her, put on warm clothes to keep your body warm. Now she up like, nah, I need my layers of clothes, and she doing it. She out there warming up on the field by herself. When you switch from that, your parents is out there fussing at you and texting you.
She LeBron James in
She doing it on her own now.
That's something, I have kids, and my oldest is doing basketball, so that's something that you just want for your kids. Yes. You want them to have that grind and that grit and that I want to go and get it. I don't want to have to be told to go and get it. I want it in my heart to go and get it. Yes. So I know that's a good feeling as a dad and just as a parent just to see that. So shout out to Savannah. That's my little sister. I just got to get her hair the other day. We spent some time together. She had me watching these shows.
Them was Danny braids she had out there when she was smoking them. Them was Danny braids out there.
Danny braids.
You win. You become a winner, right?
That's Danny magic.
You did. You know that.
Yes. But yeah, shout out to Savannah. She is a sweet girl. She's always has been, and I'm just, that's my
proud of her,
girl.
man.
I'm so proud of her. Shout out to her. So that is our community spotlight for the day. Shout out to Chasing Hope House. Make sure you guys support if you want to volunteer. If you have a young entrepreneur, make sure you guys reach out to Chasing Hope House. Also, shout out to Savannah. Keep grinding. We want to see you be number 1 in our county, which you are on your way.
Yes.
So Mom holds a record. I couldn't get the word out. Mom holds a record at the University of Akron. So.
And it's been a long time. I told Kareem, 200 indoor 200, and I'm like, it's been almost 20 years. Not to make her feel old. It's been 18 years now. That's amazing. That's hard to do.
Shout out to my sis.
And she didn't start running track till she was in middle school, and didn't get serious till high school, and didn't get really good training till college. I mean, for her to still hold that record when kids start training now as little kids like Savannah, and to think she's still holding that record is amazing. So shout out to Kareem Marie.
Yeah, in 2 or 3 years, I might be in the boxing ring.
You might.
I might go.
Shout out to our camera just did something. Shout out to our camera that did something. Where there go? Okay, we back. We back.
It's back. Shout out to Kareem Marie. She's in the chat. All right, so we got some upcoming events happening. Earlier we talked about Dave & Buster's, so make sure you guys still go and check that out. Buy some power cards. Make sure you support Mentor Stark in advance.
Buy those power up cards today. in advance. Today is payday for somebody out there. Get those power-up cards for our event that's coming up on the 25th. And get them now, because that money right now will come in and help us with the programming we're doing through Mentor Stark to help us be better mentors and support other programming in this community.
Yes. All right, we got some upcoming events. So this weekend is the Strong Family Wellness Weekend. A lot is happening. Yes. Tonight we are going to be at the all-official Black Affair. My voice was heard by like 40,000 people. It was. I did a voiceover for the official All Black Affair.
You should have played that.
Thank you. I know I should have put it in there. But it's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. Go and check that out. But tickets are available on Eventbrite. So if you guys still want to come to the All Black Affair tonight, meet us there, see us, kick it with us. We will be in the building, so make sure you guys check that out. Also, just this weekend, there's so much going on. I seen Yvonne earlier posted that he's also having a fashion show Saturday evening. There is a comedy show happening. There is the Master Experience happening, the Health and Wellness Fair.
The Health and Wellness Fair is free. Please come to that, the Canton Civic Center, 10 to 2 this Saturday. Come learn more from all these wonderful vendors in our community, from the Canton Health Department to NAMI to a StruXure Academy is going to be there. Zach Sweat will be in the building here in just a minute. So many others that you can learn about. We don't always know about the resources here for our kids, for our community. It's good to know. Know these things before you need them. Please come check this out. 10 to 2, we're going to be there. The mayor will be there. Mentor Stark will be there. It's the place to be. And then the Extreme Step is going to be in the building there as well, but that's free, absolutely free. 10 to 2.
Hey, listen, Lucas, you was in the studio cutting up.
What's up?
Yeah, let me show y'all what I mean real quick.
Oh, wait, listen. Did you guys know that Canton was ranked the fattest city in Ohio? That's terrible. Now, I don't want to add to this problem, okay? So I'm going to put the chips down, and I'm going to go to the Strong Family Wellness 4th Annual Community Health, Wellness, and Vendor Fair at the Canton Civic Center, April 12th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I've been there every year since they started it. They started at one place, and they've grown to bigger and bigger venues. It's going to be at the Civic Center for the 2nd year in a row. It is an amazing, amazing time. You want to go down there. Bring your family. Bring your kids. Come out and learn more about how to have a healthier life. It is that time of year where we want to get more fit. We want to get more healthy. We need more information. We need more education. We need more resources. And this is the place to go. Don't add to the statistic. We're 18th in the nation. Fattest cities. That's terrible. Let's change this thing. Let's make a difference. Meet me at the Canton Civic Center, April 12th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'll see you there.
How many? Hey, all right.
So he was cutting up in the studio. Right. He was cutting up, eating all the chips. My son ended up taking the chips home. Can I have these? I was like, yeah, that's a prop, but you didn't take them. But I know. We just read a text and it was crazy. Asia, just know.
Asia,
what's up?
Yeah, Asia, you do
Asia got us laughing behind the scenes.
She's not even here. I don't know how she's doing that, but she did it, and it's crazy. She's crazy, but we love her. We love her. Liv didn't get a chance to see what was on my phone, so she right down there like, what's going on?
You just know it's crazy. Just trust.
Just know
that Asia's crazy.
So Health and Wellness Fair. Last week we had a panel of all kinds of health professionals here in the studio.
Molly was here.
Yes. And it was great. It was so informative. Like, everyone had great things to say, great stories to share. And it was just nice seeing everybody in one space. And like I said, I love being able to have this platform and connect the people that we're getting to meet with our community and with the city, and just to see those faces and get familiar with them. How cool would it be to see your doctor on Lucas Live News and then go in there with your baby, and you just gotta kind of like, I know them, I'm cool, it's safe, So I love that. And I love that they're getting in. They're getting involved in the community too. They're getting out there because we don't want to see our officials just when we need to see them. I want to see y'all. I love seeing the mayor always out in the community supporting his face. Like he loves being out there. So something about it. All right, y'all. Let's chat. Let's get back to the chat and see what's happening with our people. Okay, so the question of the day was, what's like one of your icks? What's something that you just can't stand, right? And I told y'all my aunt hated when we snacked our gum. She's making us spit it out. Mm-hmm. But what's another thing?
But wait. Your aunt was taking the gum in her hand? Yes. That's kind of gross, too.
That's what she did.
That's kind of ick, too.
She would turn around like,
she loved them.
I guess.
Give it to to me, and we would have to give it to her. Shout out to my Aunt Shonda.
I just took a booger out of my daughter's nose yesterday.
Oh, she's still little.
With my finger.
She just took a booger out of
my daughter's nose yesterday with my finger.
It's different when it's your kids.
When you have kids, you don't think you're going to do that?
I don't want her walking around with that thing in her nose.
You will. You'll be catching vomit one day. You won't even know it.
All right, so look. So the Icks, right? So we got horrible hygiene.
That was funny. Now let's go. Monique said something. Did we get her what she said? She said musty.
Musty, crusty, dusty,
fishy, yellow. Okay, look how they blew that up. I like that. Musty, fishy, yellow teeth, dirty fingernails, crusty eyes, and I could go on and on. Okay, good call.
And she said she was like overly loud people. I was getting ready. I'm so glad she followed up with
I like how they blowing this up. Good job,
being
tech
extra
team.
loud at 7 a.m. Now I'm mad. Asia, you are so unique.
I understand what she means.
Yeah,
though.
no.
Like sometimes you'll be in a space and it's cool.
It's too early for that. It's too loud for that. It's too early for all that.
Yeah, it's too much.
Miss Jacqueline Scott said it's irritating people stuff food in their mouth with the jaw pokes out. What?
Make that a little bigger with the jaw. When the jaw pokes out, rake the teeth across the fork. Oh, they rake the teeth across the fork. Yeah, that noise.
All that extra. You know what I can't stand? I can't stand when somebody mixing up their cup and all you hear is they thing just ting ting.
That
ting,
bothers
ting.
you?
I'm like, dang. Like,
interesting.
Somebody
I didn't
just
even know that.
Sunken place.
Yeah.
I know, right?
And you like hitting it on the extra hard. What are you? It's nothing on there but some water and some tea. It's not that. You don't gotta.
Right, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, but all right. So my other question is like, what's something that just make you be like, who raised you? Why are you doing that? Now I told y'all when I was in Columbus, like people. I think one of my things that just gets on my nerves is people that don't say excuse me. Like you just gonna walk straight at me and not even move a little bit. You want me to? I'm tired of moving. I'm tired of being the one that gotta move. So I said, my little body is. I'm gonna start chest bumping people. When they walk, I'ma just
hit them with a little.
You ain't moving. I'm big.
Hey, Big Daddy, not the little one. Stop playing with you.
So what do y'all? What makes y'all say like who raised you, brother?
Liv?
I don't like when, like, if somebody holds the door for me and I say thank you and they don't say you're welcome.
Right, they don't acknowledge it.
Yeah, because it's like thanks for holding the door for me, but like. Did you really want to?
Right,
like, you
right.
know, like, or was you just like right there and then it just happened?
It happened.
I don't like people
right.
like,
isn't it crazy how our mind works?
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like I spoke to you. So acknowledge me. But I be giving people the benefit of the doubt because sometimes we just everywhere. But sometimes I'd be like, okay, I take it back.
Right. No, thank you.
Right. Yeah, she said, get out. Tiff said, get out. To go off of that though, I'm sorry. Wait, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, it's coming back. It's coming back.
Just keep going.
Lily.
No, I mean, I guess it's the same thing. I can't really think of something that's like except for the excuse me. Like that happens to me a lot to the point where my kids are like, Mom, it's okay. Before I even have to say anything. It's just like a big thing for me. So I guess it's not only like a pet peeve, but it's also like, where you come from? And it's, to me, you can see it bothers me, right? Like it'll be women well put together that look like that, you know what I mean? And they might, excuse me, older. Yeah. I'm thinking you've been here for a long time.
You know better.
You're right, you know better. So, it's stuff like that. So I really just don't like it.
Yeah.
My grandma, like, I would go to church a lot and like she would get me dressed and everything. And there would be certain things that I would have to wear and not show. So when I see like women, I love y'all, but when I see women in their bra straps or like just a pink something underneath or green something underneath, my grandma would have a fit.
That's a good one.
Like she would have a fit. So I was like, who raised? Nobody told y'all.
These are good ones.
You mean like period or at church?
Period.
Like period.
Because these are good. Who raised you comes from who raised us.
Yes.
That's where we get these things from.
When I remember honestly being downtown for like a First Friday or a festival or something, and there was this girl, she had this shirt on, her back was out, but she had a freaking bra on. And so you could just, it's supposed to be a backless shirt, but you got a bra on. And I was like, it's not cute.
But see, okay, real quick. I like pivot conversations. Okay,
that's
real quick.
Tacky and wrong.
As a guy, okay, girls. Okay, and I have a wife, and I know there's other options, right? But I would have never known this younger. Okay, so what's the alternative? You don't wear a bra?
No, you don't wear the shirt.
You
don't. But so you can't wear a backless. So there's shirts. There's shirts with.
You gotta. All right.
Because isn't that tacky not to wear a bra?
Honest. Because I'm gonna be very honest, y'all. I'm gonna be honest.
You can get stuff that looks like a bra in the front.
But hey, can I be honest though? Hold on.
It's not a bra in the back. What do we do, ladies?
Dang.
Tell us.
Dang.
Okay.
You hear what's going on? You see this?
Come on, y'all, lean in, everybody. All right. They about to explain.
Okay. Either don't wear the shirt. You gotta have a certain body type.
You can't not wear a shirt.
If you can't get away with not wearing a bra, then you can't wear the shirt.
Okay,
that shirt is not for you.
Does everybody agree with this? Does everybody agree with this? Okay. I don't think everybody agrees with this. How fair is it? Let's debate this because I want to debate. Thank you.
Do what you please. Wear a shirt. Do what you want.
Because they make the shirt in extra large, so extra large girl is not allowed to wear.
I will say this though.
Just because her stuff is hanging a little more. I will say that I'm trying to find out.
In my experience of what I see as a woman, women who are voluptuous.
Voluptuous, I like this word.
Yeah, because that's what they're
well endowed with the.
They seem to have a lot of confidence.
Yes.
And I'm like, go for it.
Right.
Because I used to not be.
Because
I would say like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're showing. But then it's like, well.
What are you saying? What are you saying, Lily? Are you saying they should wear it without a bra and they should be confident with that? Or are you saying there's another option? I'm not sure. What are you saying?
I mean, I don't know what the shirt is. So I get.
So we're saying your back is out, and either we got to see the bra strap in the back because you got to hold them boys up, or you gotta hold them puppies up.
So personally, in my experience, I've had shirts like that where maybe like some of the back shows, or like it could be a dress.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where the back will show, and if I have a bra on, you'll see my bra going across.
Okay.
So rather than putting on a bra, because that's very tacky, not only is it, I mean, it's just
Who said this tacky? Because your grandma said that.
Yes. No, my grandma didn't say it.
Do you have a slip on as well? Are we wearing slips?
I'm just saying, I'm saying that if I'm wearing a dress, I'm not going to go buy a dress that my bra is hanging out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I'm not buying it.
I will go get a bra that you can put on the front of you that sticks to you.
Okay.
Okay, and you can still wear that dress.
Okay.
I'm not walking around.
That doesn't fit everybody.
It don't fit everybody. I don't
like my mom.
I'm a mom. I don't buy the shirts.
Talk about your mom live, Mom.
I ain't buying.
Your daughter's about to say your business. Let's, Darla. Okay, talk about your mom.
Is getting a reduction.
Oh, Mom's getting a reduction.
Oh, there you go.
And she's really excited about it.
Okay.
And we're all super excited for her.
Okay.
She has some back issues, so it's going to help her. But my mom, she's just
somebody. Because she's voluptuous?
She is. And she's just somebody that wouldn't be able to wear
that
strapless thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to support nothing.
Right.
But she also, like, she just dresses. She knows how to dress for her body type. You have to know how to dress for your body type, and she's not gonna go buy. At least now, maybe after that reduction.
After that reduction, girl.
But right now, like, she's not gonna go buy a backless dress or a backless shirt. It just doesn't make sense for her. And she wouldn't be comfortable in it.
Exactly.
Maybe some people that would, but
I'm not comfortable walking around. I'm not gonna go to the Centennial Center with my shirt with a backless shirt. But if I'm out with my husband and I find a beautiful dress and my back is out, my back is going to be out.
My wife in the comments, because my wife has some.
There have been outfits that I've worn without like that I went out with my man.
Yeah, if I'm with my husband,
whatever, you know, it is what it is. But I'm probably
these are interesting conversations, you guys. Maybe this will be next week's conversation.
Still have your back out. I mean, there's lots of beautiful
people in the comments. Let us know what you think.
Let me get to the comments real quick.
I am fascinated by.
So
shout out to my mom.
The question was,
shout out to your mom.
Who raised you? And somebody said, keep going up. Somebody said slurp. They're talking because I don't know. Somebody said slurp or snack, and I'm leaving. Somebody, can you scroll up a little bit more so I can see? Never mind. Somebody said,
there's a difference between confidence and being classy. Okay, shout out to Jackie for that.
My mom said bro is mine. I'm not your bro. Legit said eating chips or cereal, and I hear you, and you slurp, and you smacking.
Right, shout out to Jit.
Asia said wearing club wear to the church.
Club wear to the church. Wearing club wear to the church. Who raised you?
Why are you wearing that?
Right.
Thank you for the real comment.
Right. Because you just wore that, and you came straight to church.
Look, and we at the church, not supposed to be judgmental.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is
over here
true.
like, I cannot
Monique,
believe.
I agree with you. I don't let people come in and don't speak. I am a speaker. I will come in and hug and speak to everybody. Now tell my kids, I don't care what you do. And I don't care if you walk in Mama's house and Mama ain't in the kitchen when she's you better go find her and say hello because you're in her home. Before you're not about to be 10 minutes in and you ain't went and found your mama and said hello.
So mad at me for that.
For not talking to her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, she would have like 20 people in her house at all times. So right when you walk in the door,
you gotta find her. You gotta swim through the crowd.
You gotta
find
swim.
grandma, man.
Exactly.
Find her.
No, she used to get on me.
Right.
Yes.
How long you been here, baby?
Somebody has said. So back to that. Liv had made a comment earlier because Monique just said everything's not for everyone, and there's like a page on Instagram, and it talks about dressing for your body type.
Your mom
and
said, "OMG, Liv, you told all her business." All right, go ahead.
All right. So, anyways, we're gonna get to
great conversation, and shout out to you, Danny, for putting this together. I think it's interesting to pivot off of some of these because, one, I think guys, we don't know. Women, I think you have a right to have some. You do what you want to do. My wife often says she always finds it funny that men walk around with no shirt on. She like, y'all got nipples, we got nipples. What is it like? How come? Who decided that this is so evil for us to? So she has this whole philosophy of like, who decided that women gotta be all covered up and men can't be right? She like, who made this so? And it's the men that are over sexualizing women, and now we gotta be all covered and scared.
It's true.
She's like, it's crazy.
I'll tell you one thing before we transition. I do think that when we say wearing stuff for your body type, it's whatever that person thinks their body type
that is fair,
is.
Yeah. Right?
Like sometimes, like we'll be thinking like that is not for her body type.
Yeah, who are we to say that?
Right, but there's times where I might feel like I look nice in something, but somebody else might think that
because you might have lost a lot of weight to get to that body type.
Heck yeah.
So compared to where you used to be, you might be like, girl,
right.
I feel great.
Or some of y'all went and got a BBL and you ready to do your thing, but. Either way, I mean, it's like sometimes I feel like we do things and we're like, no, you should not wear that. But that person is like, this is my body type. Like and then women to women are judgmental. And then what a man thinks, like a man might be like, man, she look good in that. And a woman like, oh, I cannot believe this heifer that wore that up.
Right. Or she might be with her man.
Right.
And like y'all said, y'all feel different when you with your man. She might be with her man that night and you don't know that.
When I get dressed up when it's me and him, I get dressed, like I buy dresses specifically for day, and we don't have to go out of town. We don't have to go anywhere extravagant. We could be at Bonefish.
She be at Bonefish every week.
Every other week.
Oh, every other week. My fault. I saw her there. I saw her there.
Getting smoked old fashions.
Smoked old fashions at the bar. They know her there.
I think that no matter what, as long as you're dressing for what you feel like your body type is, you're gonna walk around with like a certain type of confidence that's gonna make you look better.
That's true.
If that makes sense.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, not everybody gonna think you look good, probably, but it just changes the vibe. Like if you're walking around with confidence, like you're like it literally just makes.
I
you
respect
look
that.
I
do. I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel like I've worn outfits and sometimes I'm like, every day I put them on, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going, but it's just all in my head. Like I felt better today than I did the other day when I wore it. We are getting ready to transition real quick, you guys. We have our guy Zach Sweat in the building. He's ready to come on and talk to us a little bit about some football, some StruXure Academy, and some other fun things. So we'll be right back after this. This is our Mentor Stark moment. We'll see y'all in a minute. welcome back. Welcome back. Are we? Oh, that's just the thing. I thought we was a little off.
Yeah, no, right. That's just our
say,
team.
Man, we are like back with my guy, Zach Sweat of StruXure Academy. How you feeling this morning?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. Man. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, glad to have you, my man. Glad to have you as always.
Yeah. So, Zach, you do something called StruXure Academy. For the people that don't know, what is that?
Yeah, so we are a sports academy. We just like to focus on the holistic athlete more than just the training and all of that stuff. There's a lot of different places you can go train, but we want to use sports as an avenue to teach life skills and really impart those skills in those athletes, because we understand everybody's not going pro. 99% of the kids we work with aren't going to go pro. So how can we help them become professionals in life outside of just the sports realm? So
that's so great.
Yeah,
like,
I think really that's it. I agree. Yeah. I think that's.
I mean, because a lot of times we see a lot of athletes that think that this is their end game, right? And then something happens, maybe an injury, maybe a cut, and now they have nowhere to go. They don't know what direction their life is going to take, because all they did is eat, breathe, and sleep. Football or basketball, or whatever sport that they
absolutely.
chose. So, obviously that's a major issue. But what inspires you to kind of just take that route?
Oh man, honestly I was blessed. I have phenomenal coaches all the way through, but really high school shifted a lot for me. Ryan Montgomery, who, and obviously you were a cheerleader while I was playing. Ryan Montgomery.
I played with him.
I went to school with Ryan. He's a great guy.
I couldn't stand Ryan. I hated him.
That's hilarious. You always say that.
I do. I'm so serious, man. My mother was like, "Don't say hate." I was like, "No, Mama, I hate him." But it was because he really challenged me more than I had ever been challenged.
And shout out to his mom is a legend.
Yeah,
but anyway,
we work with them. They're a fiscal sponsor of ours. Shout out to Building Lives Through Sports. We work with them for the past few years since we started StruXure Academy. They were with us throughout the process, and like I said, I got stories on stories. But since I was 15 years old, so Ryan really started to shift my thought process and the way I wanted to move, the way I wanted to train. And though I couldn't stand him, I was like, man, I need him because I'm better. You know what I mean? So I was like, if he gonna make me run and do all of this, if he gonna train me, he gonna come to every college visit I got. So I'm gonna get something out of this. You know what I mean? But even my high school head coach, Coach Ron Johnson, just his shout out to the yes. So we had an album for Coach, but that's a whole nother story. But just watching his structure of how he moved, how he put us in place, why he was so intentional about like socks. You can't wear this color socks to practice. We look like a unit. We move like a unit. And then when I got to college, that was one of the most humbling times in my life. But my defensive backs coach at Akron University, Otis Mounds, he showed me, like, that was the first time I had went in an office, and it's football all day. It's not like high school, right? So it's a different world, a lot more transparent. But I would go into his office literally every day, and we weren't even talking ball. Like, he would have gospel playing in the background just so he could keep his mind right because of the environment of what sports can bring. But we would talk like I probably wouldn't even be married. I wouldn't have got married as early as I did without some of the dialogue that he had, just encouraging me to be myself and knowing it's okay, because I wasn't from where 99% of our team was. So I said all that to say, God gave me so many tools. I knew I had to build something, and that was a little bit scary, but I didn't want to run from it. So, I think this is outside of business, sports is a big part of my ministry, to be able to be transparent, to be able to have these conversations and really just impart the truth, because not too many people want to talk about it today. So.
When you say holistic, when you talk about holistic, can you explain that a little bit more in depth?
Absolutely. So it's not so much, people, when they hear sports, they think it's just the physical.
Right.
And the physical is probably the last thing in the sports realm. It's really your mental, your spiritual,
right?
Because you're gonna have some you're gonna take a ride, and they talk about roller coaster, like it's some stuff that comes with it. And to Danielle's point, right, you can almost have an identity crisis, because that's from the time you're 6, 7, or whatever playing sports, all the way through. Like, they're gonna turn the lights off at some point in time. And this is actually a Ryan Montgomery quote. He said, man, they're going to turn them lights off at some point. And I was just like, I thought it would have been 34 instead of 24. You know what I'm saying? So most people don't know when the lights get, and unfortunately you have injuries that cut the lights off a lot faster.
Right.
Because I was taught, I was like, man, let me go teach. But those are the things that I think. And again, I try not to knock people for what it is, but we got a lot of BS and trash out here today, because it's easy to, if I got a couple dollars, I can go start this or I can go do that. And even people who've been in places for a long time, some people don't know how to prepare the next generation and pass the torch because you got a lot of ego and, so it's not so much teaching being done for life skills. You might have some teaching with sports, but the lifestyle part and the life skills and the personal development, the spiritual development, that's what we really try to. And we're far from perfect, right? I'm a human, so something is going to be messed up just because I'm a human in that nature. But I think, we're trying our hardest to put the right people around our kid. Like I won't let certain people around my kids. I just won't do it just because it's not about us being perfect, but we can still be excellent, if that makes sense. So
it's interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. It's interesting that you said that because when we think about our community, it's so football, and so I know when I was young, I'm an 80s baby, so football is like this huge thing, it's like, especially Canton McKinley, and so my brother experienced that. It was like football, and then when he went to college, it was like, like that's it. So there was but my son, I said that to say my son recently left, so he's like out of the state, and he was like, Mom, there's so much going on. He's in Arizona. He's like, there's so much going on besides. Well, he played basketball. Okay, right. He's basketball kid. He was like, they don't even talk about that out here. That's not even a thing. Like, because he's coming from a small town, and now So I think what you're doing is phenomenal. I think that's great. Yeah,
absolutely. And I to Ron Johnson, and I was cheering with Miss B. But I think it's so important to have great coaches. Because you talked about the structure that he shows you, and then why are we wearing the same socks? But I did the same thing when I went back to coach. When you have good teachers, you become a good teacher. Right? So I was the same way when I was coaching. Like when Miss B said that, you know what I mean? I had a great coach. So shout out to Rod Johnson. Shout out to Coach.
Shout out to Coach Johnson. Yes.
Shout out to McKinley High School. So when we talk about StruXure, we ain't spelling it right. We got an X in the middle. Talk about the name. Talk about what it means. I know you have a clothing line too, so talk to us about that.
So StruXure is a culmination of 3 words, right? You have street, which is your STR, you have luxury, which is the UX, and then you have culture, which is URE. So when you put all of them together, it's still StruXure. Okay. And it did initially just start, I needed a name for a clothing line. I was just doing my thing, right? But, and I've kind of talked about this before, but it was like God had kind of started showing me some different things on a deeper level. My mother is the luxurious lady. Growing up, my mother, obviously, church, she has a hat company, Val Sophisticated Hats. That was always, I think so, 3-piece suite. Hi, Mama Val Sweat. How you doing?
Man, you are speaking my language over here. I was raised apostolic, so I'm seeing it.
So I was always in fashion shows, church, 3-piece suits. My dad is the complete opposite. He's sweating. Again, he will get dressed when need to, but sweatpants, you know what I'm saying? And again, I talk about it all the time. I'm still from the city. My household was just different. You know what I mean? Like the dope boys, I like what dope boys wore. I just didn't like what they did because I would have got killed if I you know what I'm saying?
Like your parents.
I would have literally got out the streets.
Not the streets, I got killed at home.
My dad was like, I'll kill you before the streets kill you.
I think my dad probably did the same thing to me. I'm a girl, but
so I couldn't act like I wasn't from where I was from. I just knew I couldn't move a certain type of way. You know what I mean? So, but that was like, okay, well, I'm Zach, and it was like I was stuck in between 2 different worlds. Like I'm from here, but I don't move like everybody here. And so sometimes it was a little uncomfortable at times because I'm like, nah, I ain't no street dude. Don't try me though. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. However, and then the other side of it was, I know I'm doing this, but let's make it make sense, right? So that was really StruXure. So when I looked at, God just started to give me this vision, like, no, this is really your life. But then when you break it down, like what are most of us lacking in life, not just the youth, adults, StruXure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's really not too much
Yes.
structure. And that's just a foundation. When you really break that down to its root, it's just a solid foundation. And I think that's why we see some of the things that we see in our communities, and not just in our communities, right? Outside of our communities, when you look at society as a whole, there's no structure. Anybody can do anything, say anything, and they wonder why everything is crumbling and falling, because nothing has a strong structure. So
Right.
That's deep.
Man.
That's
No
real.
boundaries.
I totally agree. I think structure is foundational, and oftentimes we build structures on weak foundations, and our children are trying to grow up with no foundation, and they wonder why as they get older they fall, because they're getting taller with no foundation.
Yeah.
And one of the things you're doing is building a foundation for our young people. And I think it's easy for us to say what parents should or should not have done, teachers should or should not have done, but at whatever point you catch young people, it seems that you are trying to instill in them whatever is lacking.
Yeah.
And I know you have, I think it's 7 points that you instill. Can you talk to us a little bit about those 7 pillars of your program?
Absolutely. So we call them 7 fundamentals of a firm foundation. And the first one starts with faith. Then we go to family. From there, we go to finances. Then we go to fitness. Then we go to the facts of life. And then you have fashion, and then freedom. And so obviously faith is that's the key to everything, right? And if y'all don't mind, I'm through Christ,
Please.
Jesus, that faith. I know everybody say all roads, that's a lie. It is what it is. At me, whatever. I like a little bit of smoke every now and then, but you know what I'm saying? But no, just my faith in Christ, and that is the biggest thing, right? Because without that, I don't think, and again, man, I'm not a super saint, right? I messed up just like everybody else. However, that's why I needed that faith specifically, because I know I'm messed up on my own. And then as you break down to family, you know, what role do you play in your family? You know, whether you're a son, now I'm a new dad, right? Like my son will be 1 next month, which is nuts. But so now my role of my family is different than what it was before. So understanding that when you talk about finances, that's a very vulnerable thing to talk about, especially coming from where we come from. We don't like to talk about it. So, but the reality is, even when you're dealing with athletes, if y'all ain't heard this NIL stuff thing going around, right? Athletes are business owners. They just don't know it.
Right.
And unfortunately now we're trying to make them think that there's something that they're not, right? Like, oh, name, image, and likeness, my kid gonna get that. And I'm like, your son don't got a name. His image is terrible. And don't nobody like him.
Oh,
so,
ouch.
You know what I'm saying?
Name, image, and likeness.
So we don't even
It's a mess.
understand. We don't even understand how big of a part that is. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So we have that, but then as you go to facts, like the facts of life, right? There's facts to this. If you don't do this, this won't happen. Just small things in that regard. Fitness is not just physical, but the mental fitness. Fashion, yes, we talk about how we dress, how are you carrying yourself, but the other side of it is how do you carry yourself? What is your character like? How does that move? Freedom. Freedom is really not free. And obviously you can take so many, whether it be military, I mean, we talked about the faith portion, right? We're free because Christ had to die at the end of the day. So freedom ain't free, but if you start with faith and go through all of those things, freedom will come, but you got to pay a price to get to freedom.
Right.
So.
That's deep. I love it.
Yes. So you have a fundraiser coming up.
Yes.
And I heard something that I don't know if this is true. You trying to get money so that these kids don't have to pay for the academy.
Yeah. So we started
Talk to us
off,
about that.
Man, this is our 3rd year of the Excellence Program. So we're going into year 3 of StruXure Academy.
That's
I
awesome.
appreciate it. And we started with 4 kids. Like most people don't even know. Like it was 4 kids, and that was huge for us. And shout out to my wife, Sapri. I was a little discouraged at first because I was like, bro, I really do this here. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been coaching. Like I was coaching college ball. And I was like, what's going on? But she said, I need you to, and it was her and my mother. They said, you need to treat these 4 like it's 400.
Amen.
And once they said that, I was like, you know what? That was kind of like, it hit me in the face. My wife don't say but so much. She don't say but so much. But when she speaks, I usually for a little bit, I kind of stopped talking. You know what I'm saying? I might have to say something afterwards just to let her know. But no, in all seriousness, it was almost like God was like, if I can't trust you with this little bit, why would I trust you with more?
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
So last year we ended up having like 17 kids.
Wow.
And this year our goal is we want to sponsor 30 kids and take care of them and bless them. And it was funny, Luke and I we were talking at the gym, and I was just like, man, I don't care where they come from. I don't care if they got money. I don't care about none of that, because if they want to work, that's where I want to put my investment. So a lot of time, and again, man, I'm from the city, so I get it. But I'm also from the city, so I get it. Right. A lot of times we say, well, this person can't afford it, and we want to give things to people, and I'm all for that. However, a lot of times people don't appreciate the giving. And so, not saying that nobody in the city does, because there's numerous kids that I'm excited to sponsor this year from the city. However, outside of the city, there's kids who can afford it, but they're more appreciative than most of the kids who we were giving away stuff to for free. So I was like, why not bless them at the end of the day?
You ain't just giving away no slouch stuff.
Right.
Like, you gave away, when Lucas and I had came and saw you guys, you were giving away duffel bags with like Nike cleats and Nike stuff. Talk to us like, you know, what all comes with a sponsorship?
Yeah, so the sponsorship is, obviously we do the training piece, right? So it's 7 weeks with 7 days. So we touch every one of our pillars at every single session, but after the training sessions, they eat full meals afterwards. And then we have speakers come in and talk to them about whatever that topic is or theme is for the day with that fundamental.
That's every day?
That's every single week. So they eat every week. We take care, because again, it's holistic, right? So we can train, that's easy. You know what I'm saying? Training is the easy, fun part, but what are you gonna leave with? So we prepare notebooks for them. We give them playbooks so they can understand like just the basics. And then we bless them with a mystery swag pack at the end of the program.
I love that, the swag pack.
Yeah, we like to bless them with a little swag pack.
Look at Danny.
I had to look at them because yesterday I went and got some shoes, and I was telling the guy, like, I ain't a big shoe person. I'm trying to get in my swag bag. And they all was like, swag bag? Who says that? I was like, what you mean? Like, how you sound old? I'm like, I sound old? It's just whatever.
He said swag pack. He said he gives them a swag pack.
You
can't get in your swag
but that
bag.
is great. I mean, like, the things that you instill in them, and especially at a young age, because you don't want them to grow up with that mindset of thinking this is the end all be all.
Yeah.
And then to have those other skills. And I love that you are how you are. When you learn things, you want to teach them, right? You know, because if it's gonna better you, it's gonna better somebody else. And if you didn't know it, that means somebody else probably didn't know it. So to be able to reteach those things that we learn, especially for the younger generation, is like, it's top tier. So shout out to you for that. How can the people donate? How can we get involved with this fundraiser? When does it start? When does it end? Give us a little bit of information.
Absolutely.
About that.
So we actually have like multiple ways of giving. We just wanted to figure out how can we, you know, touch any person, because some people may feel like, well, I'm not able to sponsor a kid, or I'm not able to do that. I'll just say this for the people out there: StruXure Academy is not bougie. We'll take $5. That $5, it helps at the end of the day. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it helps. So we have a multitude of ways of giving. Again, we work with Building Lives Through Sports. If you want, we have a link going around right now for that. We're doing also something with Snap Raise, which is just something quicker. We have a sponsor a kid package, just if you want to deal with one kid, but we also have some bigger proposals as well that we're looking with some other businesses or people who just want to feel that generous. And there's different tiers of giving even then that way. So obviously our social media platform, all of those things are there. StruXure_Academy, all of that stuff is there. And shout out to my wife, our team for.
Shout out to Supreme.
Yeah,
hey, I love a good community worker. I dropped my son off to the Southeast, and I seen my girl out there getting ready to give away food from the canned food truck that comes down there. She was getting ready. I don't know if it's like to just those that don't have, you know, or homeless or whatever it was. Girl was out there.
She helped.
She is. And most people don't know, like, I'm like the face and like fake boots on the ground and all that good stuff. But my wife is like the engine. Like, she's the one that, like, I'm nothing close to.
She's the heart.
Yeah. Oh man,
really
she's the one that, but she just don't say much. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't care. Like, this is not her think she's developed skills to do stuff like this, but that's not her thing. Like, she's the one in the back. And even, you know, our staff, the ones we put, Skylar Parks, shout out to my brother, you know, biz dev coordinator, but also a coach on our staff. We got so many guys, Josh Chant, like we have former All-Americans, NFL players that are working with us on our staff. So like I said, this is not a me thing. I know I get an opportunity to kind of be the face of the brand, but man, I promise you, I'm the last thing that's just rah, you know what I mean? Like, we've been, again, like I said, Ryan and Miss Lisa, like, people don't even know, like, they're building lives through sports is a huge part of how we do what we do. Even our, you know, our church is getting involved. Shout out to Pastor Arrington, Reverend Thompson at People's Baptist Church. Just really, you know, like I said, it's a community, and that is why, again, I talk about these are the reasons why I want to do some of the things that I do, because just saying all of those things, like, that's not even a piece of the support that God has given me throughout my life. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So I'm beyond blessed. I'm very thankful. And sometimes I think I got to take some more time to reflect and just be even more grateful about what God has done and what He's given me through the relationships, for sure.
Yeah, I love it. So, all right, we talked about what you do for the kids, but I want to talk about the kids. What are these kids kind of coming in with? Like, when you're looking at them and you're coaching them, are there any like bad habits you're seeing in these young athletes, and how are you able to like coach them through that? How are you getting through to them?
Oh man, that's loaded.
That's a good question, because I mean, and let me piggyback on that. And no disrespect to kids, coaches, things. This happens as you're growing up. You pick up bad habits, and the coaches in the community don't have the time always to break down all the little things. You go to camps to get better at the fundamentals, right? The coaches are out there like, man, we got to get to games. Kids can't come to every practice. Parents are struggling to get them there. It's a lot going on. They're dealing with discipline issues. The kids is hungry. They ain't got homework to do. It's a whole lot going on when they just go into Little League and all this other stuff. They come to camp. You're trying to get them right. I know you're very big on fundamentals and character and other stuff. You're like, we got to get all the little things together. So to Danny's point, like, what are you seeing and what are you able to help for somebody who's thinking about even enrolling their kid in StruXure Academy? Why do it, and what are some of the finer things that you're going to help with?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, great question. I think the biggest thing is trying to meet them where they are. A lot of times, and I've had to catch myself with this, but again, thankfully, the mentorship that I have has helped groom me to become a better coach, and the kids really do that, right? But you know, there may be a kid that comes, and I'm talking about green, like the first kid that ever signed that just never did anything, like, and I was just like, oh man, you have no idea. And he's getting ready to be a freshman, and he's like 10 times better than where he was. So sometimes it's levels, right? Like, how can I meet this kid who's never really played the game versus the guy who's been there and actually got some skill, you know what I mean? Or he has a crazy ego and he think he's that good, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's so many different, and then you got parents that you got to deal with and balance out as well. So there's so many different things so my first thing is, where are they? That's the first thing I try to look at, is where is this kid? And then what do they need and how can I help? Because sometimes people try to force themselves on them. There's like this thing going on. I'm off all my social media. So Supri and our team is running all that stuff. But I saw something that came to me. It was a clip, and it was talking about how Deion Sanders and this former NFL player named Asante Samuel, they were going back, and he was trying to throw shots at Deion because Deion teaches this way and he played a different way. And he was a phenomenal player, right? And people were like, you ain't Deion. And he's not. However, but those are real conversations. So my thing is, what do you do well? How can I help strengthen you where you're strong, but also polish you in those other areas where you are weak? So it's almost like I got to try to take my ego off the table. And that's seriously, like, one of my prayers before is like, man, just help me to get out the way so I can give them what they need. Because there's certain things that I do that I'm like, I would never do that. But some things are God-given. Like, I can't teach kids what God gave them. So if some kids are just phenomenal at this, but I would never do it, I'm like, bruh, let me just help you polish that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you can't, and that's another thing too. You see a lot of people trying to take credit for God given. Like, I can't teach 6'4".
I can't teach. I thought you had to be 6'4".
I can't teach.
I did a great job of teaching you how to be that.
I can't teach that. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is more skill and technique. So whatever that may be, okay, if you have this God-given ability to just jump out the gym or run like a deer, man, I can only help you polish those skills. But the biggest thing is, how are you thinking about what you're doing? So I can touch your mind. If I get your mind, the body is going to do everything else. And that's how I always try to go into it. So, but again, like I said, my teachers have really helped me with a lot of those things to kind of navigate those.
I love that. I love that. All right, so my other question I have for you is, you're obviously teaching them so much, and you're instilling so much into them, and a lot of this is, like, we kind of touched on it. A lot of this are things that they might not be learning, maybe on even like at the high school level or middle school levels, or maybe even at home, right? So what are some, like, we talked a little bit about it, but if there's one thing on your mind that really stands out, what is something that you are teaching and instilling in these young athletes that are maybe being missed at home or at school or even on a sports team within their school?
Oh, man. I think it was probably one of the things that I struggled with. That's why I hated Ryan so much. But, I mean, seriously, it ain't all about you. At the end of the day, you only the guy here. And even, what does that really mean?
Right.
It's only so big. You just talked about your son being in Arizona. Like, it's easy to be a big fish in a small pond. And when you haven't, and you know, again, I don't mean any harm when I say this, but we are from the city. This is where we're from. We know what this is like. And if you haven't experienced much outside the city, you really think, like, this is it. Like, you know, and so you're like, man, I'm that guy. And I'm like, compared to who?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you comparing yourself to? And that, I think that's the big thing that, and again, like I said, that's why I have a staff, because I'm like, I'm not that great. I need people around me who are better. Like, if I'm the baddest man in the room all the time, I'm in a terrible room.
Right.
Yeah, I love that, because, you know, what I hear you saying is that you're preparing them to be set apart.
Absolutely.
Because when they go to college, those kids are all great. That's why they're there playing on the college team. So now, what did I learn through your program that's going to set me apart from the rest of these people on this team?
Correct.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and with you having a great coach, you were, you know, some of those things were instilled in you, and a great family, you know. But you talked about when you got to college and on that level, when you had those, you know, real conversations as, you know, man to man, and just, you know, those life lessons. So I think those are the things that really stand out when I think of StruXure Academy, when I think of the lessons that these kids get to learn is, I know how to, I don't know any terminology when it comes to football, so excuse me. I get to learn a little bit.
You know what an interpunt is?
Huh?
You know what interpunt?
Stop it. I'm talking about training type deals, you know, like you know, the ladders and all that. But it's the things that you get to learn outside of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because those are the things that they can't be taught by everybody.
Yeah.
You know, especially when we're looking around at some of the programs that we have. Like all the programs we have right now, they're great, but maybe missing that aspect, maybe missing that piece. And it's not any shots to anybody. It's just it's a mindset thing, right? So you are the person that is equipped to teach, instill, and lead. You know, so if you come in the StruXure Academy, you know you come in to do the dang thing.
Right.
That's stuff that they don't teach in school
Yeah.
either. Like, when you were talking about the pillars, I'm like, sound like something I want to, I mean, like, as a young 21-year-old, like, that's, like, a lot of those things are my focus now with just, like, bettering myself. So the fact that you're teaching that young is, like, really cool.
That's going to be life-changing. You know? I mean, because a lot of parents lack those skills.
That's real.
So,
If they're not learning at home, where are they learning?
Literally.
Right.
So, and it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, we got to do our part, and we got to go and educate ourselves and not be ignorant to things that we just, you know, we got to be willing to learn the things we don't know, right? But there is that saying, if you don't know, you just don't know. You know? So, like, our parents, like, you're a new dad. You didn't know, your mom, did she give you a handbook and tell you how to do it?
No, my daddy didn't either.
You know what I mean? Like, we can call on God, we can pray, but some of the things, they just weren't passed down. So I think it's so important. You know, I say it all the time, like, there are people in the community that helped raise me. Like I give credit to Miss B, I give credit to Miss Betty, I give credit to like teachers that I've had in my life because my mom and dad did the best they could with what they had and what they knew, right? So being able to have that other figure, I'm telling you, people are gonna grow up and be on platforms like this and be like, man, my coach Zach Sweat, he was that guy, you know, the same way you're talking about your coach, you're gonna talk about you. How's that feel? What does that feel like? I mean, you're the vessel. I know you're doing God's work. So you're very humble about it.
It's humbling. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, sometimes I used to always think legacy was just about money. Because a lot of times in a corporate setting in society, you know what I mean? You think it is just, but it's really, you know, what have you left behind? And even in the Word, when it talks about, you know, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Like, how will they think about my son? What will StruXure Academy represent? Like, even obviously, we gonna make sure we get money, right? We're gonna make sure we do that. However, but what installs have I put in? What seeds have I planted? Like, again, I still talk to Ryan all the time. Like, literally since I was 17, I've talked to Ryan. I probably say every single month. And it was a season up until maybe a couple of years ago. It was like every day. I'm just like, okay, I'm a super adult now. You know what I mean? I talked to Coach. I was just on the phone with Coach Johnson earlier this week. I talked to him every month. My college DB coach, who I talked about, mentored me. He sends me a scripture or something, a word every day. And I graduated almost 10 years ago from college. So I think, I don't know, man. I really just want to know I did what I was supposed to do. Because at the end of the day, I know I got to answer to God, and that's a different, like I said, it's weighty, and I don't want to be afraid of it, but I don't take that task lightly. So I just want to make sure I'm in the right and I'm doing right as a husband, as a father, as a coach, a leader, a mentor, whatever that may be. Because I got to answer for that at the end of the day. Like, I know I'm not trying to get over spiritual, but I got to answer for this stuff at the end of the day. And I'm like, God is like, I gave this to you. What did you do with it? And that's the thing. I don't want to drop the ball there. So it is very humbling to think about it, just to know that we've been able to, you know, impact in some capacity, and I think I got to learn how to give myself a little more grace, just because I'm such a hard charger, and I know I want to make sure we're on point. But at the end of the day, God is the one that gives the increase, and sometimes that's, as a man, that can be tough. You know what I mean? When you're to provide and protect, and it's like, I got to make it happen. So I was taught, you know, work like it depends on you, but pray like it depends on God. So I'm learning how to find that balance within myself, to let some stuff go. Like, man, you plant the seed, you watered it, but you can't make it.
I was just going to say that it was on my spirit to tell you there are going to be some kids in your program that you're going to feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's just like, man, they're not getting it. But they will. You know, they will. There will be a time, just like it was a time for you. You know, now you talking to Ryan every day, right? There was a time where you hated him. You know what I mean? So you saw what the value in that was. So right now there might be kids that you're like, they're because it can be frustrating when you're trying to help people, and you know you're doing God's work. You're like, look, I'm doing God's work.
Listen,
right. I'm telling you that they hear you, and you might not see it for years, but you're changing lives.
I am proud to be your friend.
Absolutely.
Me and Zach, he graduated in 2012, I graduated in 2013, and I tell people all the time, like, it was something about the McKinley football team and the cheer team. We had this bond, we had this relationship that is like, when you talk about it, it's like, it's a thing that you just had to be there to feel it and experience it. Like, we kicked it. We spent a lot of time with each other. We had McKinley Massillon games. So, like, there was a week out of the year that we was, like, glued to each other. We was going everywhere. You know, so this is my guy. And just to see, you know, you as an adult, and both of us, right? But just to see what you're doing with these kids, and then the lessons that you know, learned from Ron Johnson, and just all of this, it's so cool to watch. It's so cool as a friend to sit back and be like, dang, Zach is doing it. Like, you know, it's cool. So congrats to you. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
And as your friend, I am really proud of you.
I appreciate it.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Y'all have any final thoughts?
There was one last question. Serena Draper Hendershot asked, are there only football players, or are there other sports that are involved in StruXure?
That's a good question.
Phenomenal question. So our speed, we did a lot of speed and agility. So that's all multi-sport, right? Every sport. We had cheerleaders, soccer, whatever. However, after this program, StruXure Academy is going to go through a restructure.
A restructure.
Yeah. The restructure of StruXure is coming soon. I got to go into prayer for real, just because we looking at what's going on. And just those questions right there, right? I can't put a stamp on it, but we are looking to branch out and do team sports. Okay. That is something that we really want to do, but again, we want to do it right. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. So after this program is over, I'm really looking to go in prayer with my wife, obviously myself, just spending that time and even counsel on what's next. But that's what I want to do, just because there's such a market, and just again, even though it's not about just sports, you know what I mean? But you need people to do those things. And I said, I don't want anybody just dealing with my kids, and I don't want to, I still want to make sure I'm a husband and a father too, because we have our hands in some things with business, work, and all of that. So I want to make sure whatever we do it the right way. But to answer, Serena, your question, we are looking to make a shift here. We just want to do that the right way. So stay tuned. It is.
That's important. I didn't think about that, because you are teaching, life lessons, and it would be a shame if only football players got
I know. I'm sitting over here like, my son is 13. So what are the ages?
No, so he's of age for sure.
He needed it, because I had to tell him, get off that phone. Get off that phone.
Yeah. So our excellence program will do. I think our excellence program is 9. All the way through. So I have college kids all the way through. Yeah, we like to. So again, I think that we talk about passing it down, and I think a lot of parents and kids are very ignorant to what this really looks like to do this stuff at a high level. So we set it up to where we'll have like elementary kids, so they can see this is you getting ready to go to middle school. This is what a middle schooler looks like. For the middle school kids, now they see the high school kids, and it's like, this is a different level. And for the high school kids who like, I'm D1, well, let me put some D1 kids around you to see if you really are D1, or you might be D3. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Yes. But it's to show the work. So that was a huge blessing. One of my kids that I had at Walsh University, he ended up going to Duquesne, which is a D1 school, and he ended up coming back, and I specifically paired him with one kid, just because their body type was very similar. He had a lot of talent, a lot of skill, but he was still very raw. That kid he led the county in every receiving category. Wow. And he also was number 1 in the county in interceptions for defensive backs, and he's going to Ashland, right? And some people would say he's just going to Ashland, but I'm like, that's what people don't understand, how business of this thing works. He was number 1 in the county in both statistical categories. And now Ashland is a national program, you know what I'm saying, in the D2 world, but that's what I'm saying, people don't understand what's really going on. And so the blessing is, like, he's one of the kids that we're actually going to sponsor this year. Awesome. And he's going to be a freshman going to college, so now some of these high school kids can see, this what a real college kid looks like.
This is what it looks like on your social media, these testimonials. We need to see more.
We working it's just what we do. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not even my thought process.
I get it.
So I'm not mad at you. Shout out to Juanita. Shout out to Juanita.
Shout out to Juanita, your team.
She hosts. So everything y'all see is Juanita.
We love the content too.
That is them. Job. They put that stuff together. They make me fake look good and all that stuff.
Shout out to them.
Some of the stuff they get, I'm like, I don't even remember I said that. Right. I'm glad you got it. You know what I mean? But so those are the things, like it's we want to talk, but it's just, people who see it will, people who don't, they won't. My uncle, shout out to Uncle Terrence, he said something to me that freed me up. And he said, man, Jesus couldn't do miracles even in his home city. So
that's real.
I just need you to relax, and whoever you deal with, whoever comes, just make sure you impart on them. And that truly freed me within this last year. Because I was struggling. I really was. I was like hurt. Obviously, with a lot of stuff going on in the city, and especially as a coach, there was a lot that I've dealt. And again, I ain't crying because God let it happen, and I'm thankful that it did happen. StruXure Academy wouldn't even be here without those things happening. So I'm at the end of the day, I won still. I still won. But I really just, that's what we do, man. Like, when that's what you do, you don't, like, I don't feel the need to brag about, like, I know how to coach. Like, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need anybody to be like, gas me up. Like, my wife said something like, if I never gave you a compliment, you wouldn't feel no type of way. And I was like, nah, because I don't do it for you. You know what I'm saying? And I love her dearly, you know what I'm saying? But I really don't, that's not my thought process. It's like, this is what we do, this is how we do it. Results are gonna speak for themselves at the end of the day. So that is, man. So we're getting those things on social media though, just because unfortunately you gotta leverage the marketing piece, but, and then some people just don't know. You know?
And then just to share those stories, I'm a big story person. Like, I love to hear the story behind something. So your story is amazing. And when parents and even young athletes see this and see the success that you're having within the academy, they're gonna want to be a part of it. They're gonna want to learn those lessons. They're gonna see it and be like, I need that, you know. So to get on there and inspire, and even just with your stories, right? You can reach and touch somebody from across the nation just with your story, just with what you're saying, and that's important. So think about that too, because you got a lot of life lessons to teach, and that doesn't have to stop right here.
Absolutely.
You know? So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. We
you.
appreciate it.
It was
like seeing you at the gym. That worked out good this week. You know, we didn't get our workout all the way in, but you know what I'm saying? It worked out. It worked out.
20 minutes short.
Yeah, me too. But it worked out.
So we did talk about social media. Before you go, let them know where they can find you at on social media, whatever platform.
Yes. So my personal is Coach Swee 17, and then our business account for the academy is StruXure_Academy. That is StruXure_Academy.
Awesome, Zach. Thank you so much for coming on. We are going to transition into our Scumba Business and Beyond. We'll be right back with more conversation. We'll see you right after this.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Jean Ngohongdong. I am professor at Kent State University, but I am also the founder and CEO of an organization called Icks Bridging the Gap. Well, what is Icks Bridging the Gap? At Icks Bridging the Gap, our mission is to allow our minority, low-income, and first-generation students to have easy access to education, persist, and attain their degree in a timely manner. We do this by advising, tutoring, and mentoring. In addition, we also do provide early exposure to science, technology, engineering, math, and medicine. And as you may know, or maybe you don't, know that minority, low-income, and first generation are very underrepresented in science careers, actually STEM careers. So our goal to encourage that access to STEM is to provide early exposure. When we say early exposure, we mean K through 12, so that in their early age, they get meaningfully exposed to STEM disciplines.
All right, that is our Scumba and Beyond. Shout out to Scumba and shout out to all of the members over at Scumba. This was a great conversation with Zach, though.
That was a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed that. Yes.
And y'all always judging me. I like talking to people.
I know. As soon as we get done,
it'd be like 10, 9, 8.
Lily be like, let me talk to you about business. Let me get my kids enrolled.
I'm like, just like Zach.
I know.
Hey, I'm gonna do it.
But yeah, make sure you guys go and check out him on social media. Check out the academy. I'm gonna drop the link on our Lucas Live Media page and drop the all of the information for the fundraiser, so you guys can go and check it out and donate, if you will. But again,
hey, I want to shout out our team behind the scenes. Number one, last week we had the biggest show we've ever had. We had people coming and going. We had, it was madness in here. Shout out to Strong Family Wellness.
I was in there all night. I was over here like, somebody turn it down.
Man, we had to turn the air conditioning on here in the winter. It was madness, and they did a wonderful job. And they did such a great job. When all the guests left, they kept saying, "Your team is so good. Your team is so good." We were like, we thought we were so good. Anyway, they said they're so good, and they are. And today you guys don't know it, but behind the scenes, there's some things going on the screen behind the scenes that is messing things up a little bit, but not for us on the show. So you guys are seeing a smooth show, and they're dealing with it. So shout out to them. I just want to shout out Brandon and Tiff behind the scenes running things today. So thank you guys so much for keeping things smooth and cool and calm and rolling behind the scenes. Because you guys don't know that when you're watching shows, even on TV or whatever, and most things you're watching on TV are not live.
Yeah.
So they get to edit it and fix it before you ever watch it, but live stuff has a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, and they usually have about 40 people behind the scenes. So
absolutely. Right. All right, y'all. So
shout out to them.
Before we go, we do want to get into our sponsor spotlight, and I just want to shout out some of our sponsors, and I want to tell you guys how you guys can be a sponsor. So we'll be right back after this. All right. Oh, there's Tiffy.
There's Tiffy.
All right. I haven't called her Tiffy in so long.
Oh,
man.
Tiffy.
Tiffy. All right, so you guys, Lucas Live Media, we have some sponsorship packages, and we want you guys to join us, if you will. If you want to be a part of the show, just like these guys up here, if you want to be a part of us being out in the community, there are ways that you can do that. So we have our new show sponsor, which is what you see. We have some other options available, not just up here, but we do have some other options available. We have segment sponsors. So we have Community Spotlight, and we have our sports segment. And if you'd like to be a sponsor for that, we have those as well. Now, we also have, just show ads and event promotion. So if you have a fashion show coming up, a cheer camp coming up, a fitness camp coming up, a StruXure Academy, I got a fundraiser coming up, and you just want to just do like a one time or even a couple times, put a flyer up or have us talk about it or have us give some kind of promo for your event or whatever it is. We can do that. We can do a show ad. We can do a promotion. You can send us a video. We can do a little chat about it. We can talk about it. We can do our thing. So if you're looking for something like that, that's available too. And we also have, like I said, our traveling community sponsors. So this weekend is going to be a super huge weekend. We're going to have all kind of reels going out. And if you can't make it or your business can't make it, you can at least show up on our reels that we create this weekend. Obviously, it's a little late right now, but think about that in the future. When we are out in the community, we're at everything. Ribs, burn-offs, First Fridays, whatever events are going on around our city. And we're not just doing, we're doing Canton Culture Collective events, and we're going to, see musicals and live paintings and artists. And then we're going to events from like sports, but like what's the one, the hair cutting one?
Yeah, the Hall of Cuts
cool.
with Tajir. Yeah,
that was so cool.
Yeah.
So we are so diverse.
Yes.
When we are out in the community.
The Pickle Fest.
We're at Pickle Fest. We're at chamber events.
Yes.
We're at Scumba events. We're with the mayor. We're with we're downtown at parades.
Right.
We're just a little
from the
bit
Hall of Fame to
right?
the
Hall of Fame parade. The
we got some things coming up in Akron. We got some things coming up all over the place.
All over the place. So if you guys want to just come with us,
and those videos get a lot of views. So the key is you need exposure to your business and your brand. And you guys know we have a lot of trust locally. So if you want your business to be with us, and our businesses that sponsor and support us are getting a lot of attention. We shared a post of one of our Footage Fusion clients recently, and they said the attention they got just blew things up. Our Footage Fusion clients are getting clients quickly. One, because the quality of the videos, and two, because people know they're with us, and it's having an impact. So if you want to, get some attention on your business, certainly aligning with us has been something that's been very beneficial. So we're here for that, and that's a good thing for you and a good thing for us.
So many different opportunities.
Yes,
just a little bit of something for everybody, and so many different packages too.
Yeah. So and there's some there's some ones that I haven't put on this main one because they're exclusive. So if you want to know the exclusive packages, reach out to me, reach out to Lucas, reach out to Liv, anybody, any of us, and inquire about those, and we can help you out and direct you to the one that fits best for you. As you guys know, Lucas Live Media is one of our main companies. We also have a sister company, and that is Footage Fusion. So I am the director of operations for Lucas Live Media and Footage Fusion, and our girl Liv over here is the Tell me your official title, please.
Head of Communications and Marketing.
Head of
Communications and Marketing
for Lucas Live Media and Footage Fusion.
For Lucas Live Media and Footage Fusion.
Yeah, Lucas Live Media and Footage Fusion. Okay. So what we are doing, we are helping individuals, we're helping businesses with short form content. What is short form content? That is TikToks, your reels, those quick videos, those fun videos that you scroll past and scroll through all day long. And we are helping anyone that wants to just get on social media. If you're getting into fitness and you want someone to do your videos and you have no clue, you know how to pump some weights, but you don't know how to edit a video, don't stress out, because that's where we come in.
Yes.
Also, if you want to learn how to be like a social media personality, if you just want to learn how to leverage a platform in your social media presence, we are also coaches for that too.
Yes.
So if you don't know where to start, Footage Fusion is the way to go. I think I have a clip for you guys. I just want you guys to see a little bit of what we can do. I'm springing this on our production, but I think they're good.
It.
So
okay.
Here it is. Here's a video that we kind of produced here at Footage Fusion. But check it out.
Are you or your business showing up on social media how you want to? Probably not. You know you need to be doing Reels or TikToks or YouTube Shorts because you know that's where everybody's attention is. Might be where you're watching me at right now. But so many people don't show up there because they just don't have the time. They don't know how to edit and cut clips and make things fly in from over here and fly out over there. You don't know how to do all those things, but we do. Here at Footage Fusion, we help companies and individuals like you have eye-catching content that stops the scroll and breaks the mold. So what's the problem? The problem is you're busy running your business. It's called a business for a reason, because you're busy. You should be busy, but we want to be busy helping you cut content. All those other apps out there to tell you it's really easy to edit content. You still don't have time.
2 hours later.
But we do. Let us be your content coaches so we can stay up on the latest trends in social media, and let us be your editors. You have a doctor, you have a lawyer, you have a mechanic. You now have a video editor that's on your side to do all of your content editing here at Footage Fusion. Visit us at footagefusion.com.
Yeah. I made that video.
That was she did. You did. The origins of Footage
I haven't watched it
Fusion.
in a while, for real. And I was like, dang, that's a good video.
So fun. Who made that?
I like it.
Thank you. So those are the kind of things that we're talking about, right? It's so engaging. You know, there's something happening. And in the day and age that we're in today, you need to capture their attention and keep people's attention,
Yes.
okay? We are quick with it, okay? If we're not interested, we scroll it, okay? I know I'm not the only one. If you ain't got to the point in the first
3 seconds.
0.3 seconds.
Yes.
Look,
Yeah. Right.
I
Right.
ain't interested no more.
Yep.
So that's what we can do here at Footage Fusion. We have been seeing a lot of success with our companies, our
Lot of
businesses,
success.
our just individuals.
We got chefs. We got like the clients we have has been so fun. We just got a new client recently, Miss Lily. You guys are going to see some great content coming from her.
I had a really good time shooting that content too.
Oh my gosh, we can't even wait for it to come out. Me and Tiff was sitting here like just looking at each other like this is just ridiculous. So you guys can't wait for that to come out. We have Chef Steve Beatty. We have Chef Darren. We have Amanda Pagnucco with fitness. We have, I can't even name everybody. Chris Downing with amazing motivational content.
We have the beauty spot.
Brian Flowers,
downtown.
the beauty spot downtown. Small Steps, Big Dreams. Crystal Smith.
I just love the variety.
Oh,
yes.
You know what I mean? We're talking about fitness, motivation, childcare.
And it's so exciting as it grows.
Jenny Can, a cleaning business. Man, everything.
Cleaning,
tow trucks and dump trucks.
Right.
But that's what it's about, because
every business needs it.
Every business, first of all, you know, I think the key thing with Footage Fusion and just what we've seen with businesses, like we're leaning into like those influencers too.
Yes, absolutely.
But when we're talking about businesses, you know, the market has changed.
Yes.
You know, so we're not putting things in like yellow pages. That's really outdated.
We're not watching commercials.
We're not
we
watching
fast forward.
Many commercials. You know, there are ads, but unless you know the value of ads, which most people don't, you have to watch them for someone to get the full benefit of them. And if you don't know that, you just don't know. And the thing you want to do is skip ad. That button pop up.
Yep. You skip as soon as you can.
On YouTube, when you skip those ads like that, the person that put the ad out doesn't get as much currency as they would if you hadn't skipped it.
You're right.
So a lot of times people go and support those.
That's why when I'm in the shower, they get paid. Because I
I'd
be like, man.
That's so funny.
But my point is, you know, billboards are great, you know. Newspapers, fine, you know. But we are in a different world, and if you are not on social media, especially with your business, you are missing out on so many clients, so much potential, so much potential customers and money, income, networking, anything, right? And when we see people, I got asked to be an influencer for what is it?
Yeah, Zulu.
For glasses.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's things like that, right? Like, if you are a makeup artist, like, and you're just doing makeup and you're just word of mouth, girl, get online. And then after that, get you an influencer, get you somebody that's gonna rock your makeup and do your, there's so much you can do. And at Footage Fusion, we can help you navigate that and figure out, who you are as a brand, what you bring to the table, and how you can leverage and bring more clients or customers, or whatever it is. If you're just looking to build a social media presence, how to gain followers, how to gain, supporters and people to be in your comments and liking your stuff, and just to have that presence. So that's how I look at it. I look at it as like a personality. Like, you come to
personality
us,
agency. That's what I say. And we're talking to bigger marketing agencies who, number one, are saying to us, your prices are too low, which is fun to hear, because we're like, good, because we can raise them. It is fun to hear.
It's so fun.
Isn't it crazy? Every time they're like, wow, how can you do it at this price? We're like, we're just kind,
Yeah.
And then we say we're not a marketing agency as much as we're a personality agency. We're trying to bring the personality of the people and the brands to the table, because what people are going to want more and more in an age of AI is people and personalities, real people and personalities, because there's AI people and AI bots, and they're going to know who are the real people behind things now. And nothing against AI, but I want to know that I can meet the real person, and that's not a figment of somebody's imagination.
Absolutely.
So
I think one of the great things that I enjoy working with you guys is the motivation behind it and the encouragement. I think that's another component. You know what I mean? So like the humanistic part.
A lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, there's a humanistic part, and I think when it comes to business, people want things done, and that's true. But people also want to feel connected to the people that they're doing business with.
Yeah.
And so I just know in my experience, I appreciated that. There was a lot of motivation. There was a lot of like ideas, and like, you can do this and you can do that. And I felt like I left here, I was like, excuse me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing. I'm an influencer out here.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys know I spoke on the women's panel last week.
Congratulations. A week ago, we heard so many wonderful things about that.
After the panel, I literally ran out of here and went to go, thanks for the claps.
Yes.
I went to go and speak on a women in business panel, and I was with 3 other ladies, and it was great. But there were, the time went by so fast. There were a few questions that didn't get asked, and I knew it was out there lingering, right? But one of them, I forget what the question, like how it was worded, but I know that I wanted to tell the group about social media. There was one thing I wanted to mention to them, because we just talked about it. When we talk about AI and all of the fake stuff that we're seeing out on social media, a piece of advice that I wanted to give to the ladies in that room was to show up and be yourself. Now, I told them that a few times, but I wanted to tell them in relation to what's happening with AI, what's happening with all these artificial, just videos and simulations and stuff. People are going to want to see real people show up on social media, because there's so much out there that's just not real anymore, and there's so much that's even scripted at this point. A lot of people are doing it. They say, do it for the gram. I ain't gonna do it, right? They're doing stuff for the gram, right?
They don't have that Lambo for real.
Yeah, for real. They're like, but let's think about even this. I talked about this there too. Like, don't beat yourself up when it comes to social media, because people are clearing out of space in their room, in their houses, to shoot certain content. So you can't believe everything you see online, right? Like, they don't
whole
have
house
it all
ain't that
together.
clean, right?
So you don't got to have it all together to be on social media, right? There's an influencer I love right now, and she just shows up real and raw, regular house, regular income, regular meals getting cooked, regular. But I'm so drawn to it because I don't see that. I see the nice, aesthetically pleasing homes and all these clean cut, cute voiceovers and all this stuff. But when you see some real stuff on there that you can really relate to, that's what draws your audience and people. So be you.
Yes.
Right? Stay true to who you are.
Yes.
And let's show up. Let's show up in 2025,
My wife said take up space this year. She said she's going to take up space this year. I love that.
Be loud, be beautiful, be everything that you want to be, because we only get one life.
Let's
and
go.
If you ain't going to do it for you, who else going to do it?
Right.
Because you're going to wait for somebody to do it when you've had it in you all along.
You don't need permission.
No lie, I might be weird, but
and you are.
I will hug myself
and you're weird.
To feel my embrace, because who got me like I got me? Who got me like I got me?
Right.
Like, when you think about it, like I say this all the time. If I didn't believe it about myself, somebody would be telling me to believe it about
That is
myself.
true.
And now that,
and as soon as you believe it about yourself,
somebody asking you, well, who you think
who
you
are.
What you look?
That was when you said that to me this week. I was like, that is deep.
Yeah.
You said, if you had less confidence and you didn't believe in yourself, people would come up to you and say, Danny, you should believe in you. You're all that. You're beautiful. You're powerful. You're that. But now that you believe it about yourself, people will look at you and say, who she thinks she is to be walking around like she's beautiful and powerful. And so you be better. You got to choose which one you want to be. The person who's down and out and people got to encourage, or the person who's up and they got to try to put you down.
And
I'd rather be up.
Not care what nobody thinks.
I'd rather be up.
What they think. Because if you live this life based on what somebody's going to think about you, you'll never ever do what you want to do. You will be stuck because of what somebody else might think.
I am not on trial in the court of public opinion. You're not the judge and jury of who I am and what I will be. And it took me a long time to get out of that. And every day I think about it. Like I do things odd sometimes. Like sometimes I'll put something on, I'll be like, I don't think that looks perfect. And I'll be like, good. I went to the gym the other day and my socks were over my pants. And it looked crazy, and I was like, I'm wearing it like this. Because I want them to look at me crazy, like he crazy, because get used to me looking crazy. Because the people who do whatever, people get used to it, and they stop looking at them. Mm-hmm. I tell my kids that all the time. I'm like, do whatever, because I'll be like, don't show up to the thing. Because the family member that doesn't show up to everything, when they finally show up, everybody applauds them. The person that shows up to everything, when they don't come, they mad. Who they think they is not coming to the thing? Oh, you ain't here. You think you too good? Well, cousin so-and-so never comes. And when they walk in the door, y'all worship them. How is that? Why is it like that? So I'd rather be the person that y'all are happy to see, or y'all are used to me being odd, or whatever it is. So that's the life that I'm building for myself, to take up space, be who I am, not be on trial in the court of public opinion, and I'm going to love me, and I hope you do too, but if you don't, you just missed out.
Yep, you missed out. Listen, this was another episode of Lucas Live News. I'm so happy you guys joined us. We are getting ready to take off. We have a super busy weekend.
Yes.
We hope to see you
We
guys
hope to see y'all in the community.
Yes.
The Wellness Fair, 10 to 2 tomorrow.
Yeah,
Saturday, free to everybody. Civic Center, please come out.
Tickets are still available tonight for the All Black Affair.
La Pizzeria. Hope to see you guys out there.
Yes, that's where it's at.
Yeah, so La Pizzeria.
It's a busy weekend.
The Canton Prom is at, I think tickets may still be available.
Weirdos.
I love We love you too, Talia.
He killed me last night.
He did.
I got a cramp in my stomach right now.
From boxing. She's a boxing champ
I'm
now.
a boxer now.
Yes, La Pizzeria. The Canton Prom is tomorrow at the Onesto, which I thought that was at the Double Tree. That's at the Onesto. Yeah, we're going to be all over the place.
All over the place.
Classic Man is coming up. If you guys haven't got your tickets to the Classic Man, shout out to Special Occasions. The comedy show is tomorrow night at Special Occasions. I think that's 8 p.m. to 1 p.m. It's a lot going on, y'all. Woo. All right? Be ready. Be ready. Be ready.
We will see you guys next time right here on Lucas Live News. We'll hopefully see you guys this weekend, but if not, we'll see you guys next time. I'm Danny.
I'm Lucas.
I'm Lily.
I'm Liv.
See you guys next time.